Post on ZipRecruiter, get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center in the Pepper Tree Shopping Center. We've used Blue Water Broadcasting for years, and we attribute our results to what they do for us. If you want results with your advertising, call Blue Water.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Mr. Electric of Montgomery. Mr. Electric, we've got the power to make things better. Visit MrElectric.com.
Well, hi, everybody. The big story continues to be the heat. Today was hot enough. Tomorrow will be hotter. And even tonight, very oppressive. Overnight low temperature down to about 77. Tomorrow, a heat advisory. High temperature upper 90s to maybe teasing 100, but the heat index is high as 110. In fact, even Wednesday, excessive heat indices. And I think the rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are very small with high pressure in control. Storms few and far between. Late week will be not as hot, but hot enough. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Greg is smart.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. I know the problem, you've got just one policy. You do the opposite of what the Donald does. Don't know what you believe just because you got that TV. Yeah. You tested positive. There's nothing I can do. I glow you. It's TDS. Open the borders, let my Donnie pick your pocket. Let the boys beat the girls. They got that extra rocket. A theology degree from Starbucks. You declare that America sucks. You got that TDS. You tested positive. There's nothing I can do. I glow. Let's get this party started. If you're late, you're blues, and probably restarted. Like Rosie, De Niro, Jimmy Kimmel, Kathy Griffin. No kids, no kidding. We don't live in Great Britain. Jason was the worst thing you've ever seen. Swords, burning cities, and mostly peaceful thing. Bring back the cartels, commute their crimes. Shakers, the New York Times. He's rich, a fascist, a racist dictator. Crucifixion, pure sin.
Luke, I am your daddy.
You got the TDS. You just positive. There's nothing I can do. You get TDS. No matter what she says, You must be really dumb. Just you keep blaming some for your problems.
Side effects of drug-deranged syndrome may include violent behavior, delusions, nightmares, insomnia, irrational hatred, hopelessness, anxiety, depression, blue hair, tantrums, inability to form coherent speech, difficulty maintaining gainful employment, and verbal diarrhea.
It's happy hour, come gather round. Greg and Pamela break it all down. Talking politics and the whacked out world. Every headline makes the chaos swirl.
It's time for a smoke break.
Monday and Thursday. On happy hour. Mr. Thespian steals Tuesday spotlight. On happy hour. Eddie stops by on Friday with some snacks. On happy hour. A little louder while the whole world swirls. Hanging out in the chat will change your world. On happy hour.
On happy hour.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
The big broadcast, happy hour, to start 93.1 FM, WACP, for a Monday afternoon. The idiocracy yawns before my reference. Tom Moore is here for additional excitement. Glad to see you.
And here they are.
Sir. Well, it would be a much better day if we had a fat cloud or two pop by the radio station and cover us. Let's see what the latest official reading is from the National Weather. Well, this is lame. 92 degrees, feed index. See, I'm getting better every day, Tom.
It is toasty out there. I'm just glad to see you alive and well.
92, but the heat index, not the feed index, is 101.
And I heard Rich say even hotter tomorrow.
Yeah, I think tomorrow's he said the hottest day of the year.
Ooh.
And I asked him, point blank, how does it get hotter as the days get shorter? You would think with less time to build heat, it would start going in the other direction a little bit. Wouldn't mind a couple of days with highs in just the mid 80s.
Yeah.
But I think we're at least a month away from a front coming through.
Well, this is the first time I've seen you since your operation. How have you been feeling?
This is not like a back surgery, a knee surgery, and every other thing I've had done where I take a day off and come back the following Monday after a Thursday procedure. This is taking time. But I did, thanks to you.
Uh-oh.
I wrote a magazine column yesterday about this for Boom called Diagnosis AARP, Aortic Aneurysm Repair Procedure. And by the way, I was not kidding. Dr. Thrasher, our good friend, he didn't perform the surgery. Dr. Ingalls did, but Dr. Thrasher was checking on me afterwards and said, that's what got Lindsey Graham.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless you need to buy into one of the conspiracy theories, which I don't, not on that. Because it's over quickly.
Yeah, they said that it's like if you have an aortic aneurysm, you have like 25 minutes,
Sometimes not even that.
Yeah.
So I'll find something else. I don't get colds and flus and fever issues. I just need a trip to the Montgomery Paint and Body version of the health shop.
Come out newer than you were.
About every 7 or 8 years. So this one takes time to come back. But right now I was telling Joey, in the column, because I remember listening to you, I think it was in my room at Baptist. I had you and Rich and Jay on, and you were applauding my hospital contraband.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And so from the moment they told me this is what we need to do, my first reaction was to ask questions about it or what. No, my first reaction was, how the hell am I going to smoke or not smoke for over a day? That's all I worried about.
Did you have like the patches, the little Zen patches?
They gave me a patch.
Oh, okay.
But unless they place it over your mouth, it's not really all that effective, to keep tobacco out. And I wasn't going to try and actually smoke in the hospital.
Yeah. Maybe a little vape. Sneak a little vape in, some Zen pouches.
And I had nicotine-infused toothpicks. They're called Tripex, I think. Jay mentioned those.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So I wrote it's a pretty funny column about a pretty serious kind of thing. But that points to the insanity of any addiction like tobacco and the extreme you should go to feed it. We have our first call already. Hi, who's this?
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy.
Hey, Greg, when you were talking about Dr. Ingalls, are you talking Dr. Robert Ingalls?
Yes.
He's a Montgomery vascular surgeon.
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of his patients. Great guy.
I've met a lot of his patients. He is the best of the best in this field.
I like him. So when I found out I had diabetes too, I go in there every 6 months to have everything checked out, everything, everything's flowing right and everything. But he's a straight shooter. That's what I love about it.
So, another thing we have in common, man. Besides,
I know
devoutly
multiple
conservative
things.
views.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Can we shoot Rich for this morning's forecast? Jeez.
Well, no, I mean, just before the show ended this morning, you got to give him a break on this. We watched that mesoconvective thing come down the state, and there was every reason to expect some pretty good thunderstorm activity here for at least a little while.
Yeah.
But just about 8:57, he leans over to me and says that MCS just fizzled. He's not going to happen.
And didn't I say about that force field that we have around Montgomery?
Yeah, the Montgomery bubble went up.
That bubble went.
Mayor Reed popped the bubble.
Because I was out there cutting that grass as fast as I could this morning. Because I was like, the map's showing red cells at around 9 o'clock. I'm out there pushing that lawnmower as fast as I can with that edger and that trimmer going out there, and because I wanted to catch it before it rains. It seems my grass needs to do really good. I guess all that oxygen and nitrogen in the air does like steroids to the grass. It's amazing when you hit the rain.
Doing a little too good. I need to find a lawn service.
Greg, you used to be the lawn care grass cutting Nazi, didn't you?
That was a long time ago.
I remember one time you said that your neighbor next door that was an older lady, and you went over and cut her grass and just moved it on over.
I was vigilante lawnmower man in the days when we were with Lewis Lawn, yeah. But we had small lawns in the neighborhood, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, true, but it was just the idea. I do that. See, I have a garden home too, a little bit bigger than probably yours, because it's about 1,700 square feet, mine. But when my neighbor's an elderly man, and when I'm in the flow in the groove, I just take that my self-propelled mower and I just go over there and I cut his at the same time, and he appreciates that. I figure, man upstairs might give me some bonus points. You know what I'm saying?
Well, move in next to me because I need a neighbor like you, and currently I don't have one. In fact, one of my neighbors has a Doug Jones sign in front of their house, so I'm not asking. I'm not asking them for nothing.
Mike, I wouldn't ask. I wouldn't even let them cut my grass. No, let it grow. I'll pay somebody. But you're right, though. 'Cause I remember you used to be the vigilante over there at your old place. So I remember one time you said you were cutting grass, and you're like, well, the little lady next door from Pasadena needs her grass cut. I'm going over there, and you just go over there and you would cut it. And you were the vigilante of the neighborhood, weren't you?
You know why radio advertising works? In the time we've been talking, James Gillespie with the James, forgive me for not remembering the name of your company. He's a all-around handyman guy. I'm really good. I mean, he can do almost anything that your house needs. So I hired him. Way to go. I'm very happy about that. Problem solved. Soldier Boy got to run. David Blackman's coming up. Today's tour, The Idiocracy, is always sponsored completely by Montgomery Paint and Body on the boulevard at East Shirley Lane. The Patriot Pro Services. That's James' company, Patriot Pro Services.
I like that name.
He's a great guy, and he works so hard that it actually makes you feel guilty when you see him when he's done with the job, because he's been busting his butt. Patriot Pro Services. Thank you. At Montgomery Paint and Body, same deal. Donnie Turner, with everything he's got on his plate, still make sure that every single car that comes in and goes out of MPB looks as good as new, maybe better. You get to choose here. The days of the individual whose name is on the body shop actually making sure the work, those are over. Those, a lot of places are owned by conglomerates and faraway places. They're not really local, but MPB is 100% local, and you can bet that you'll get the bang for the buck you deserve. That Alabama law says you get to choose. So choose wisely. MPB 27 Rec with a W on the Boulevard at East Shirley Lane. Let's see if anybody needs them at the moment. Here's Jerry.
In the Montgomery Skywatch Traffic Center, if you're catching a flight out this afternoon, you're clean and green all the way to the airport right now. 65, 85, the interchange, all looking good. Just drive carefully. At McKinnon Toyota, you can get $3,000 customer cash on a new Toyota Tundra, plus the lowest tax rates in Alabama. It's worth the drive. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212. They're off I-65 in Clanton. I'm Jerry Howell for Montgomery Skywatch, filling in for Wendell J.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Bowen Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
David Blackman joining us for our Monday tour of the Idiocracy. That'll be at 3:30. And we had a chance to experience some Montgomery glory.
Oh.
Because they brought the right act to Impact.
Leanne Morgan, I heard.
Yes.
Good show. Did you make it out?
I shuffled over there. Tried not to look like I was, dying over here, so to speak. But in fact, I didn't even know who she was. Then Pamela told us about the show much earlier in the year. She had a sitcom.
Yep.
Checked it out. I wasn't too impressed the first couple of episodes, but then it became, started to feel like, okay, this is actually kind of funny. And then when the series was over, the first season, I was disappointed to find out. I thought it was going to be another one of these shows I'd find after it's had a 7-season run.
Right.
Or been around forever, like Community, which the deeper I get into that, the more I don't like it. But so I started checking out some of her stand-up stuff. She sold out 4 shows at Impact. And the most fascinating part of it all was the demographic. It was about 75% women. This was a girls' afternoon or evening out kind of experience.
That's your dream right there. That's your fan club.
I did meet some listeners.
It was all over my Facebook feed, so everybody that I'm friends with apparently went and they loved it. So, did Pamela got you tickets?
No, I bought tickets.
Oh,
I don't do the give me the free tickets thing.
Oh, but just it's like food in the studio. People just hand them to you. It's just
I had very good seats.
Oh,
3rd row.
I like the Impact. It's intimate. Old
Impact
school.
It's an outstanding
Yeah.
place to see a show. And I'll tell you what, they had an opening comic who was just a little too loud. They could have turned the volume down on him. But Leanne was literally perfect. About a 70, 75-minute show, tops. Just long enough. Funny. Best line. To those who listened this morning, I apologize if you heard this. Because she talks about herself and her life and her family and everything else. All totally relatable stuff. and she was talking about and encouraging the women in attendance to nurse your children, breastfeed your babies. And she talked about how she breastfed all 3 of hers. And then she got a pain look on her face when she talked about how she looked after the 3rd child was off the nipple. And she
Some low-hanging fruit.
And she said, my breast looked like a raisin hanging off a baby sock. That's such a great picture.
That's a mental image that.
And the funny follow up to that was, so she went to her husband, who's a big part of her routine, and said, I would like to get some breast augmentation, and immediately cut her a big check. Sure, go ahead and do it. When he's usually,
tight.
Yeah. But for that, yeah, we got money for that. Sure.
Nice.
So it was a lot of fun.
And this was Friday night?
I went Saturday afternoon.
Excellent.
I could not deal with night.
Yeah.
And it was maybe not quite ready yet to walk the kind of distances, but yeah, I lived.
You made it.
I lived.
Yeah.
I sucked it up. I went to the store. I went to the part of the store where they put the straws, reached for the top shelf, and grabbed one and sucked it up. But you only have so much endurance.
Yeah.
As it is.
We celebrated Mom's birthday on Saturday. She said to tell you hello. She sent the Smithsonian Magazine here where there's an aviation accident article that she thought she might like. She even tabbed it for you.
Really?
Yeah. So
how thoughtful is that?
Jane Moore, your #1 fan club.
And
the little skillet snacks were from her as well. So
really?
Yeah. She brought those over today to give to you.
Well, I have to thank your mom.
Happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you for the thoughtfulness. We are going to get ready for our visit with David Blackman, Tour the Idiocracy. There's plenty to talk about there. And we'll start in just a few minutes. The market, that's what I wanted to check. It was way up this morning.
It's
but
a little flattish downish.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it finished at 262 up. That's not too bad.
Yeah. It looks like a Christmas tree on my portfolio. Little red, little green.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Very festive looking market today.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Brad McDonald later about what drove the numbers, how it impacts you and your money when he joins us from Invista Advisors. Right now, we've got news with Sky Mosley, Rich's forecast, and then David.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The reward has been increased to $10,000 for information in an unsolved Montgomery homicide. On the night of February 11, 2023, 52-year-old Yvette Carter was shot and killed while asleep in her home on Hatton Avenue. 3 suspects are believed to be connected to the homicide. Anyone with information regarding the murder of Yvette Carter is urged to contact authorities. An active shooter response exercise will be conducted on Thursday at Montgomery Catholic's Vaughn Road campus. You may notice an increased presence of police, fire, or other emergency personnel at the school. This is only a training exercise designed to help first responder preparedness in the event of an emergency. Former Auburn golf phenom Jackson Coyven has won a PGA title in just his 3rd start since turning pro. Coyven fired a final round 566 Sunday to win the 3M Open by 3 strokes. Sunday's win for the 21-year-old comes on the heels of a prolific career at Auburn, where Coyven won 3 individual SEC championships. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, flooring tools, and installation supplies. Find it all at Budget Floors and More in Montgomery. Big selection, contractor pricing, and personal service you won't find at the big boxes. Across from Publix in Del Reyta and online at budgetfloorsmgm.com.
Clogged drain? Overflowing septic? Don't panic. Call the experts who've been solving plumbing problems in the river region for more than 50 years. The Tierce family's local Roto-Rooter team specializes in fast drain cleaning, septic repair, and installation. One call and your troubles are on their way down the drain. That's 272-7130 or visit rotorooteralabama.com. Roto-Rooter, always here when you need us.
Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And we go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC. Hi, everybody. The big story continues to be the heat. Today was hot enough. Tomorrow will be hotter. And even tonight, very oppressive. Overnight low temperature down to about 77. Tomorrow, a heat advisory. High temperature, upper 90s to maybe teasing 100, but the heat index is high as 110. In fact, even Wednesday, excessive heat indices. And I think the rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are very small with high pressure in control. Storms few and far between. Late week will be not as hot, but hot enough. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
I'm Jeff Bezos, and I'm here to brag about becoming part owner of a professional football team. Is it the Dallas Cowpokes, the New York Gigantics, the Miami Dolphins with frickin' laser beams on their heads? Sadly, they are not for sale. Instead, I shall be investing in a little-known team called the Liverpool FC. Now, I'm not entirely sure which state Liverpool is in, and Google brings up a big fat goose egg when I search for our quarterback. And I haven't the foggiest idea what the FC in Liverpool FC stands for. But mark my words, once I make my smoking hot wife the team's mascot, the FC is going to stand for the Liverpool Foxy Cougars. Play ball!
As the 21st century began, natural selection, the process by which the strongest, the smartest, the fastest reproduced in greater numbers than the rest, a process which had once favored the noblest traits of man, now began to favor different traits. A dumbing down. How did this happen? Evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence. With no natural predators to thin the herd, it began to simply reward those who reproduced the most and left the intelligent to become an endangered species.
David Blackman and Greg Budell present Tales of the Idiocracy.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
It's so funny. I waiting for David add a little meat to the bone to give him an extra minute or two. That really, he had texted and said he'll be joining us in just a couple.
He's taking the Browns to the Super Bowl.
I don't know about that. But he is a busy guy, and he's in big demand, and there's a lot of questions. In fact, a big part of what we're going to talk about today, trying to decipher the president's plan in Iran and what's going on with gas and oil. Now, there's a marathon station on Carter Hill that has become my benchmark. They always charge a retail price. You're never going to get, even if you get their 5-cent discount, you're still paying more than you would if you just pulled up in a lot of other places. They peaked at $4.19 a gallon maybe 6 weeks ago.
Yep.
Dropped to $3.59. Now they're back at $3.89. But it stayed there even with this recent activity. It hasn't gone up. So I'm curious. Maybe we'll be spared another round of price hikes because the Democrats are doing everything to hand the midterms to the Republicans. Everything they need to do.
Yeah, especially with the DSA joining into the fight. Just
They're gonna
hand it to us on a platter.
They're going to regret embracing those people because they're crazy. Look, you know, when I was a kid, I remember riding on the bus with Mom in Chicago. And there were signs on top of the bus above the seats. And the one that always scared me because he looked so mean was Khrushchev. And the sign said, "We will bury you." It was a warning against communism. I mean, we've fought wars to throw out the Bolsheviks and the socialists in Germany. How come nobody in the Republican Party has found a way to equate socialism as the fundamental economic basis of the Nazi Party? This is what you want. You're always calling us Nazis for no reason at all, but you're going to embrace their economics. You're good with those. So they've totally failed to do that.
Yeah, it's funny on Fox, they give a lot of attention to this DSA debate. And to me, I always say, hey, if your enemy's making a mistake, don't interrupt them.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's just going to split the Dem vote. It's going to strengthen, you know, I think you're going to see a really strong.
Were you listening to Joey on the way in?
I was not.
He had a great clip from that guy that does all the analysis. Oh, there's David.
Excellent.
Let's
Get
bring
him
him
in
on.
the fight here.
Yes, here I am.
to go.
Finally.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm really sorry I'm late. I
Don't
was
apologize.
Tied up on a call and couldn't get off.
Better late than never. It's good to see your smiling face.
The only consequence was that you missed Jeff Bezos' message.
Oh, I know. I hate that. That's my favorite part.
And but we could play it later in the show for you and so on. It's good to see you. It's good to be back on a Monday again.
Yeah.
And there's just a whole
Nothing to
plethora.
talk about though, but you know, a
No.
slow news day.
So we thought real hard and kind of started just a minute ago. Tom Moore is sidekicking today, and he made the brilliant point that when your enemy is making mistakes,
Don't interrupt them.
Yeah, his exact words. And it's almost astonishing at some of the dumb stuff they're doing. That said, I don't want to win any election because we backed him because the other side was even worse than ours. You know, that's
I tell
an
you though,
empty
this
victory.
year I would take that. I sure would take that.
Oh yeah, no, they have no alternative that's better. None.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Democrats have got to be scared more than anybody because the vote is going to be stolen from their side. And so it's just going to split the left vote. And then I'm excited about 2028. I think you're going to see a really strong, I hope it's a Rubio Vance ticket, or some iteration of that. I really like Rubio. No surprise on that. And so he's just a little boisterous. Vance is a little peanut butter for me, but
Crunchy or creamy?
Creamy.
Okay.
Yeah. That Ohio creamy peanut butter. He's a Marine. He's a good guy. He's a family man.
He's the American story.
I think Rubio's a little feistier. Rubio's the American success story too. They both came from nothing. So I think either which way we're in good hands. 2028, I think we will continue the torch and be a little bit more moderate of what we're seeing now, and maybe a little bit more representative of the nation as a whole. So I'm excited for the future.
Create a little comfort zone for those independents. So, David, the situation. Trump's out making a speech. Where was it? Michigan today?
Michigan, Milford, Michigan, which I've never heard of.
Never heard of it.
But sorry, I had my camera off center. Yeah, Milford, Michigan, a city I'd never heard of, but there's apparently a big General Motors plant there.
I thought we were going to see with this recent, it's been what, about 2 weeks since he resumed attacking Iran, that we were going to see bottlenecks in the Strait of Hormuz, that gas prices were going to come going back to even higher levels than they did previously. But it's not happening that way. What's your take on this? Oil and gas is your expertise. What's going on in those markets today? Are they
I have to
nervous?
tell you,
or-
I this big drop in oil prices we had since Friday to me is unexplainable by market factors, and I've never really bought into the theories that the market's being manipulated. But what we've seen over the last 2 trading days is so counter to all the market signals. We've got 2 of the major choke points in the global oil market essentially shut down to tanker traffic in a market that was already 3 to 5 million barrels per day undersupplied by anyone's measure. And you see a 10% drop in oil prices at a time when you know, market factors would have indicated you'd see at least a 10% uptick over and above where it was last Thursday. And that to me says manipulation. And I don't know who's doing it. I don't know how it's being done. But when the other thing is, you've got Brent index trading just below 90 the last time I looked, at a time when physical deliveries to refineries all over the world are selling for cargoes off of tankers for $120 to $140 a barrel.
Wow.
That is, I've never seen a blowout separation like that. And so I can't explain. Nobody can predict exactly what the oil price is going to be. But for a long time, I've been really good at projecting what direction it's going to go, at least. And these past few days have really spooked me. I don't know what's happening in the crude market, so I can't really make any assessment on it other than, gasoline prices will go down here temporarily, and they already have at the gas station I shop at, and by 20 cents a gallon overnight. And, so enjoy the lower gas prices while you can, but I just don't think this can last very long. But who knows? If the market's being manipulated, then
Who could be a potential manipulator here?
Well, I mean, the U.S.
You got a
Treasury
conspiracy
could be manipulating it. The Bank of
Really?
England could be manipulating it.
Huh.
There's not many players big enough to do it. Some Chinese banks could be doing that, theoretically. But there aren't many potential names that you could name who have the ability to print money and a balance sheet where you could afford to do that. So, because it's such a gigantic market, right? So there's not many suspects, but I don't know any other way to explain it. I've got a good friend who's a real financial guy who's been telling me for really long, well before the Iran war began, that the market was being manipulated. So I'm kind of starting to believe him. I always just kind of blew him off, but I got to say, what's happened the last few days is very suspicious to me.
Well, let's throw another log on the fire of suspicion that we're building. I am not, first of all, we're now into what, almost 6 months, right? Close to it. 5 months.
March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, 5 months.
All right. And we've heard all the talk. We're having good talks. We're making progress. We've got a deal. His favorite words. I don't know what's going on now. We resumed attacking because, as you have pointed out, anybody that pays attention knows you cannot trust Iran as far as you can throw them. And they've violated the agreement. They seem to have an unending pile of nuisance missiles to fire wherever they feel like firing it.
Seem to have an endless supply, don't they?
So I don't know to what point we've really diminished them. It sounded like an intelligent question.
Yeah, no, they have little to no military capability, but what they do have is enough to completely disrupt the world economy, and that's this tit for tat is not working. A really good friend of mine, I flew F-15s with him. He is in charge of all air operations in that region, and I spoke to him this morning. He's a general and he's an awesome guy. And he agreed wholeheartedly. And even Admiral Cooper said it this morning, like, what we're doing now is limited effectiveness because whatever income they have, they're using it to resupply their missiles and their drones. And they're getting targeting information from the Russian and the Chinese. And so that is, and so Trump has the cojones to do Midnight Hammer and Epic Fury, but he's had the boot on the throat of Iran so many times, and he just won't finish it. And I just don't get it. There was a pause on Friday, and I was like, surely this weekend, it's going to be the big one. It's going to be something that gets them to capitulate. And it didn't happen. And now we're back to this back and forth. Oh, we're going to negotiate. And there's going to be no negotiation. It's just like, just finish it.
I hope everybody listening heard what you just heard here, because I may be a putz. I may be a ridiculous human being, but I'm hanging out in some pretty tall cotton here with one of the most renowned oil and gas industry experts in the country, with David Blackman, and you, who can pick up the phone and call a general.
Yeah.
Right?
It's pretty
Why
impressive.
would you watch CBS?
Well, why would you watch CBS? Why would
that's,
you watch
yeah,
CBS?
God.
That's the question I ask every day.
I just would like a why. Why are we not finishing this? Because every day it drags on. It hurts the economy. U.S. servicemen get killed.
Yes.
You're depleting your missile inventories. So I'm frustrated. And I told him, I said, call me back up. I will put my flight suit back on. I will fly missions downtown Tehran. I will go to Shaw, where he's stationed. I said, whatever you need. Call me back up on active duty. I'm ready to fight.
You've done your service for the country. We need your service here in the River Reach. We need you to be our next mayor, too. We have our first call. I'm not sure who it is, but welcome to the show.
Well, it's Papa B, so pretty safe, I guess.
Yeah.
Nothing outlandish, too outlandish. So, I'm probably the world's biggest Monday morning quarterback, so I'm not going to come down hard on anybody. But we keep hearing this term, finish the job, do what it takes. I just want to know from y'all, what do you think this is going to take to finish, quote unquote, the job? What do you mean by that? What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So if I was advising Pete Hegseth, I would say, don't take out the power plants, take out power lines. And that cuts their power, but it's not going to take 5 years to rebuild, and it doesn't get civilians killed. I would take out bridges. I would take out a top-tier leadership. President, I can't stand the foreign minister, and the top of the IRGC. So take another level out, get the IDF to work with you on that, and then just inflict maximum short-term pain. And you don't ask for a deal. You ask for an unconditional surrender, because there is no deal at this point.
And you think that
So
will do it?
I have a relationship with an editor at one of the big media outfits. I was talking to this morning about, and I asked, well, was President Trump waiting for this meeting with Netanyahu to happen in order to pull the trigger on something bigger? And they're hearing that, yes, after this meeting, they're going to have a plan in place to, quote, finish the job, whatever that means. Now, whether the president ultimately pulls the trigger on that, I guess, he's so unpredictable. You don't know until it happens. And, so I don't know.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
My thinking. Okay. So look, I think it's pretty clear to anybody that would observe that Trump is a dove. He doesn't want this idea of going in there and killing a bunch of folks, but that apparently is what really it's going to take. But when you boil it down to, what it really looks like, Iran is a country of 95 million, I think, something like that. What if 1% are the hardliners?
Yeah, the estimates are
That's
the
a lot of
80%.
people.
80% of Iran wants regime change. So that's
Okay.
another part of the calculus that really helps.
So
And you don't
that's
have to
the-
kill a lot of people.
That's the part of Iran that's unarmed, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The IRGC is calling the shots right now because they have the arms.
For those who wonder why we embrace the Second Amendment, they've got
I just wonder.
Great point.
I just wonder if we're talking about 5% or 10% or 20%. And you're saying you're not going to have to kill them. Well, I don't know if they're that hard line, or well, what if it is just 5%? That's a lot of people.
Well, when you take
That
out
is
their
a lot of
power,
people.
there's
Have to
second
do
order
it.
effects. We're like a hospital. People need
Yeah.
electricity to survive. It's not going to be mass casualties. And then there's the take the Karg Island thing as well. Where economically you can prosper from this venture, but that's a tough plan too. But I would love to see take Karg Island and just start bringing oil tankers and filling them up and paying for this war.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, all great ideas. I'm just I just want to point out the fact that, when it comes to quote unquote finishing the job, you might be talking about hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people that you have to wind up killing. And boy, that is not going to go over well with a lot of folks.
Yeah.
No matter how
exactly.
it winds up. So anyway, all right, guys, something a perspective, something to think about. Thanks a lot.
appreciate the call.
No, that's a good call, and I think point well taken. Yeah, I heard another theory today on a podcast I listen to every day, the Commentary Podcast with John Podhoretz, and was talking about a conversation he'd had with one of the president's senior advisors in the White House over the weekend. That another idea, potential strategy, is to keep this embargo in place at Hormuz and back off on all attacks, military activity to the extent you can, and just put a pure economic embargo on Iran and wait them out. That has an advantage politically of calming the waters just with the market, the stock market, and the oil markets. Oil prices would go down due to actual market factors if you did that. And so gasoline prices would go down, help you in the midterms in all likelihood.
Yeah.
But you're talking about something that would take probably 6 months to a year before Iran's government has to finally capitulate. And, at the same time, you do have to take out a bunch of bridges and roads and rail lines to prevent China from rearming them constantly. And so that's another thing that apparently is being considered in the White House. I know Netanyahu would not like that idea because Netanyahu just wants to blast them all off the face of the earth. And so
Been some interesting exchanges through this whole process, actually, but over the weekend between Trump and Netanyahu. And
mhm.
how about what's going on? Big headline on Fox with Ukraine and Iran. How did they get involved in this?
Yeah, Ukraine hit an Iranian cargo ship in the Caspian Sea.
Yeah.
Over the weekend with a missile, intentionally, apparently. And I can't really understand what the point of that is. Whether it was an accident, could have been, I suppose, a misidentification of the ship as some sort of a Russian vessel, but it's hard to see how. But what would the motivation of what's his name, the little dictator over there in Ukraine, be for wanting to pull Iran into its conflict? Doesn't seem to make any strategic sense to me, and I haven't seen any good answers on that yet. But that's potentially an escalation, to just involve even more countries in all of this. Those of us who are very concerned about World War III developing out of those two conflicts. You know, that's not a doesn't seem to be a real smart move on Ukraine's part, but I don't know all the moving parts around it.
Well, I'm confused as hell.
I'm very confused by it.
Yeah.
You know, I got to tell you, I just all of this becomes to me, you would expect after 5 months, a little higher degree of certainty, but it all becomes increasingly uncertain over time, and that's a very bad trend.
But in the meantime, we should, if gas prices do start to come down again, we should enjoy it while we got it.
Hell yeah.
Smoke them if you got them.
Buy gas while it's cheap. It's not cheap, but I mean cheaper.
Because this is watching what the Democrats are doing within their own party. We shouldn't have a second thought, even a whiff of concern about the midterms, because they're just so self-destructive. It's beautiful because they paint themselves into all these corners with their wokeness and their political correctness, because they can't really attack the people that are destroying the smarter Democrats know this. That the likes of AOC and this person running in Michigan and some of the other commies that have infiltrated the party.
Syed.
Yeah. That's not what your middle America independent voter is going to go for. They're just not. So they're losing that. And I think some progress has been made in cleaning up voter rolls, correct?
Mainly in red states, yeah. You know.
Well, how about New Jersey? Mikey Sherrill, who's a Dane. She knew the voter roll bombshell was coming. They found, and you did a great job on the math, David, in your blog, extrapolating that number into the likely tens of millions of illegals who are registered to vote. And the headline is, she knew that this was going to be revealed, the illegal aliens that were actually registered to vote in New Jersey, when she called Trump a liar. They are the most shameless, conscienceless people I've ever seen in my life. They are so married to their insanity. You can't budge them for anything.
No, you can't. I mean, when your entire philosophy is based on a mountain of lies, you don't have any choice but to keep lying, right? And that's where the Democrats are and have been for quite a while. And it just becomes a more radical set of lies every week, every day, every week, every month. And yeah, they're tearing themselves apart internally, and they're inside their party. And unfortunately, the Republican side is kind of squandering the opportunity to really exploit that.
They are the ultimate squanderers, though.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not just the war, it's also the utter complete failure of John Thune as Senate Majority Leader.
He's the only person on the planet I would punch in the face if I had the chance to do it. I'm not a violent man, but I love my country more than I love him. And I would absolutely take a poke at the guy. He makes me sick. Him and Cornyn and all the rest of the losers on their way out, that jackass in Louisiana, they're just...
And Tom Tillis in North Carolina, yeah.
Disgusting. Well, speaking of liars, let's set up our next segment of the show, starring Dr. Anthony Fauci.
The little menace to societies.
David's going to gather the kids around the radio because David Blackman is going to be telling you the story of the Little Menace. And it's not a sitcom. It is not a sitcom.
They were reading his diary on Fox News with pictures today, and I'm like, how did they get access to that? And that's embarrassing.
Well, that's what where David is going to regale us in segment 2 today, because he's got this. It's hilarious. You'll love it, and we will get to that in a moment. In the meantime, you should find David Blackman at Substack, davidblackman.substack.com, and subscribe. It is the best thing that will appear in your, unless you get a really hot love note or something. It's the best thing that will appear in your inboxes every morning.
You'll never get one of those from me. I guarantee you that.
Can't we just be friends? And for energy information, Blackman.substack.com. This man is in the middle of it all. We've got our war correspondent here. I'm just running the board for brilliance here this afternoon. We'll be back in about 10, David.
All right.
For segment 2. Thank you. All right. This today and tomorrow, likely the hottest days of the year. We don't know about beyond that. But if you are looking for a place and a guy in particular, I've been with the Clark family for a long, long time. And when Robbie went out and started his own thing, I went right with him. Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning. This guy, I mean, I've worked with him for a long, long time. You can get yourself a service contract with him for just $149. You'll have utmost confidence in his skill set. He can do everything from install a new system. He's got a long array of options available, but I would find it incredible to meet anybody with a better level of expertise, a better work ethic. He just hustles, works his butt off. And when you need help, you got to have somebody that you know will drop what they're doing and come to assist if your AC goes out on a day like this. Call 245-3544, 245-3544. That, of course, in the 334 area code. Or look up Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning on Facebook. Great move.
In the Montgomery Skywatch Traffic Center, we have an accident 85 northbound just past Perry Hill Road before you get to the East Boulevard. Be careful there. Otherwise, around the city, 65 looking okay. There's something about a small town restaurant like the Front Porch Grill. It's a place where you know the people, the food is great, just like home. The Front Porch Grill in Millbrook next to Food Outlet. I'm Jerry Howell for Montgomery Skywatch, filling in for Wendell J.
Big question. When is the right time to buy a house? Well, when you're ready, or at least thinking about it. Don't think of purchasing a home and acquiring a mortgage as something that's got to happen in 72 hours or less. Although the folks at Alabama Home Mortgage can work fast if that's what the situation requires. But if it's a process, you may not be ready right now. You may want to wait for interest rates to come down, but talk to people who know this world inside out and make the purchase of a home an angst-free, very personal, familial experience. This is a group that's been together for a long time, led by Madeline Cannon, and I got to tell you, I'm so impressed with them. The process of getting a mortgage can produce some nerves, but let them take you through it. Let them advise you. If you're interested in a home, but you're not sure if it's going to be now or in 6 months, they're just as interested in you as anybody else that's ready to purchase more immediately. Work with them. Take advantage of their experience and their caring. 567-4223 in the 334. That's 567-4223. Alabama Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Their NMLS number is 1586368. Alabama Home Mortgage. You're going to love them.
What are you getting? Still deciding, but I do know on August 11th, I'm choosing Rhett Marcus for Congress. Why Rhett Marcus? Because he's a true conservative, endorsed by President Trump and Senator Katie Britt. Oh, then you can trust him. And he's a small business owner, not a politician. Sounds like this choice on August 11th is the easiest decision we'll ever make.
Remember to vote on August 11th. I'm Rhett Marcus, the Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rhett for Alabama.
Trust Montgomery's glass experts to provide you with fast and convenient service when and where you need it. Find out how affordable independent glass can be. Free estimates on storefronts, shower doors, furniture tops, plate glass window glass, plexiglass, custom beveled mirrors, residential or commercial services. You come to them, or Independent Glass will come to you. Call Independent Glass 263-2823, 263-2823, or stop by 2047 Bell Street near the entrance to Maxwell. Independent Glass.
It's July 27th, the greatest day ever. On the 27th of July, 1974, the U.S. House of Representatives begins impeachment proceedings against President Richard Nixon. Nixon would quickly resign after uttering the famous line,
"I am not a colluder. No collusion. This Watergate thing is a total hoax. Fake news. Fake news."
Have a great July 27th, the greatest day ever.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
4 o'clock.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Fire crews in southwest France are battling a massive wildfire that's burned an area 4 times the size of Paris. The blaze forced 220,000 people to flee near Bordeaux. The interior minister says the fire stopped growing, offering a glimmer of hope, even though another 50,000 people cleared out away from their homes overnight as a precaution. Mediators say they have made progress in efforts to bring the U.S. and Iran back to the bargaining table. Scattered attacks by armed groups across the region are underscoring the lingering tensions and also raising questions about who's behind them. Neither the U.S. nor Iran have claimed any strikes for the past 3 days. A big IPO in China. Shares of the Chinese memory chip maker CXMT have soared as the company began its trading in Shanghai. That was mainland China's biggest IPO in recent years. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 263. This is SRN News.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
When I was feeling the stress of too much credit card debt, I looked at 2 different options, debt settlement and debt management. They may sound the same, but guess what? They're not. Debt settlement seemed like a quick fix, but I found out it would destroy my credit, create tax headaches, and hit me with huge fees. They actually told me to stop paying my bills. No way, not me. Then I turned to a debt management plan developed by the team at Trinity. They worked with my creditors, lowered my payments, reduced my interest, saved me thousands, and paid off my debt. And Trinity is a Christian company, which is important to me.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5496.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-936-5496.
We will return to the Idiocracy with David Blackman, sponsored by Montgomery Paint and Body, in just a moment.
A new year brings new opportunities, and right now the market is starting to shift.
Interest rates are beginning to come down, which means more buying power and more options for buyers who've been waiting.
If you're thinking about buying a home, this could be the moment to take that next step.
And whether you're buying, selling, or investing, having experience on your side matters more than ever.
At Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, we're also growing our team.
If you're an experienced agent ready to make a difference in this market and want to be part of a team that values knowledge, support, and results, call Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, where opportunity meets experience.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. What does it mean for a nation to be successful? I'm Stephanie Bryan, Tribal Chair and CEO of the Poarch Creek Indians. We believe a successful nation gives back. As we've built economic opportunity and prosperity, the Poarch Creek Indians have been able to give back to our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. More than $37 million since 2021 alone. From education and health care to tornado relief, learn more about our charitable giving at PoarchCreekIndians.org.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
7.
In the Montgomery Skywatch Traffic Center, we have an accident 85 northbound just past Perry Hill Road before you get to the East Boulevard. Be careful there. Otherwise, around the city 65 looking okay. There's something about a small town restaurant like the Front Porch Grill. It's a place where you know the people, the food is great, just like home. The Front Porch Grill in Millbrook next to Food Outlet. I'm Jerry Howell for Montgomery Skywatch, filling in for Wendell J.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. The big story continues to be the heat. Today was hot enough. Tomorrow will be hotter. And even tonight, very oppressive. Overnight, low temperature down to about 77. Tomorrow, a heat advisory. High temperature, upper 90s to maybe teasing 100, but the heat index is high as 110. In fact, even Wednesday, excessive heat indices. And I think the rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are very small with high pressure in control. Storms few and far between. Late week will be not as hot, but hot enough. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
The world of Idiocracy with Greg Pamela and experts, especially David Blackman, talking about all the latest mess. Get it off your chest and tune to the best. The tales of Idiocracy. The tales of Idiocracy.
Shortwave, take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
This just into the Idiocracy News Desk. Did you see this? David Blackman, Tom Moore, Melania, and Barron Trump being targeted by Iran in disturbing video encouraging their assassination.
Oh, no, I did not see that.
Crickets chirping. Crickets chirping. Something else that is being widely ignored by our treasonous media. And I learned that term from David, by the way, because that's exactly what they are. Hang on one second. It's ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MS Now ignoring the Fauci diary entries that reveal his fixation on fame.
Yeah.
That's a conspiracy.
Well, of course it is, and they were complicit in all the things that Fauci did that resulted in the death of 15 million people at least, around the world, and over 1 million in the United States. They were all complicit, so they have to pretend it doesn't exist.
For those who didn't get to read your blog today, please tell the story about the time you watched Fauci on TV with your wife, and you came up with the name The Little Menace.
Yeah, and in fact, I came on your show 3 days later, and we talked about it. I remember that pretty clearly. So he first appeared at Trump, if everyone remembers, go back to the awful year of 2020. Beginning on February 27th, President Trump would bring out his key advisors. Vice President Pence was in on most of them on almost a daily basis. Pence would be there. Fauci would be there. Deborah Birx would be there. She came in a little later. She wasn't at the first few.
Her name, the Lady of 1,000 Scarves.
The Queen of all the Scarves, I like.
Yes.
But anyway, Fauci got up and talked at the first one, and I had no idea who the little fart was. Never heard of him prior to that. He killed. His awful decisions resulted in the needless deaths of hundreds of thousands of mostly gay folks here in the United States during the AIDS crisis of the 1980s too. But I just had never heard his name before. Anyway.
Wow.
So he'd already been around a very long time, 35 years in government before 2020. And he got up and spoke at that first one on February 27th. And, and I could just tell that he was in heaven getting all that attention in front of all those cameras and all those reporters in the White House briefing room. And when it was over, my wife and I were watching it together. I looked at Terry and I said, that little shark guy, he's a menace. He absolutely adored being up there. He is going to do everything he can to make sure this is a major crisis that lasts as long as possible. I mean, and that was I don't believe I've ever been so right about a first impression of anyone in my whole life as I was about Fauci. And this diary just proves it. You know, every destructive sociopath, narcissist in history, in modern history, has one thing in common. They all kept a daily diary. Hitler did, Mussolini did, Joseph Mengele, the monster who gassed all the Jewish people in the concentration camps and experimented on so many of them, did. He's the one I compare Fauci to, frankly. And so it's not surprising at all that Fauci kept a daily diary. It's not surprising at all that those diary entries, so many of the diary entries talk about the phone call he had today with Alec Baldwin or Barbara Streisand,
Really?
Rob Reiner.
See, I haven't read these yet.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's
he's getting all hyped up about his celebrity friends.
Yes. Oh, yes. You know, he's got.
Now, was
all
this
sudden-
diary? Was it subpoenaed? Is that how it
Yes.
became to public light? Man, a good politician. It's so funny. I text a lot of local representatives and city officials, and as soon as I text them, the good ones, you know what they do? They call me because they don't want anything in writing. And so you just got to know anything that you document. I'm really surprised that diary came to public light, though. You would think that would be hidden in a safety deposit box or locked away, or you just think that would be off limits.
Right. Yeah. So if you read about human behavior and the behavior of these narcissists, these sociopaths, it's much the same as a serial killer. The serial killer, if you've watched documentaries about them or read books about them, they tend to keep tokens from each of their victims. Just something, a piece of clothing, a doll that was in their room,
Picture,
whatever it is. And the police who finally catch them will find a storage room somewhere or a cellar where they have all of those tokens collected. And they do that because it reminds them, they can go in and pull them out and look at them, and it reminds them of what they literally considered to be the greatest moments of their lives in killing their victims. A toxic narcissist like Anthony Fauci, the diary is the same thing for them. It's something they don't just write and then never go back to again. They write them and then they go back and read them periodically, read them over and over and over again, because it reminds them of the exhilaration they felt when they got a call from Barbara Streisand. Or, another entry talks about how he was got in his car to leave the briefing that day, and out on the street, people were honking at him and waving and yelling thank you to him.
Oh, God.
Talking about how adored he was by the public. And one entry reads literally, this is, I printed it in the Substack piece. Oh God, which one is it?
Not to mention he has a giant oil painting of himself over his workspace.
That's creepy.
Yeah, and so here's the worst and most revealing entry, I thought, in all of it.
All right.
It reads,
can you read
this
it?
is direct from his diary. It is not hyperbole to say that today I am the most famous and talked about person in the country and one of the most recognizable persons in the world. Countless profiles on me in multiple media. I cannot even read all the things that are written about me since I am so busy. Seriously.
Oh, my God.
Now that, it's not
Hubris!
hyperbole to say I'm the most famous and talked about person in the country and one of the most recognizable persons in the world.
And humble, too.
And humble, too, yeah. I'm sure. And then he glanced up at the massive painting above his computer screen.
If the media is ignoring the diary component to this, which is not a public service, It's an absolute political agenda in service to the DNC. Why would we think any of them are going to cover these hearings? What needs to happen to these hearings?
I don't think they can. Because, I mean, you know, all these questions are going to come up. There's other entries. It's not just about celebrities. It's also about had dinner last night with Jake Tapper. Gave him questions to ask. One of the White House's, the White House's political advisors was going to be on Tapper's show the next day. So I had a friendship building dinner with Jake Tapper last night at Tapper's home and fed him questions to ask, hard questions to ask this appointed official at the White House in order to, you know, help Tapper try to cover for Fauci. I mean, and there's multiple journalists mentioned like that. So it you know, he also had the media all wired into everything he was doing. And that's, you know, and of course he was on CNN or MSNBC every day, sometimes both, during the whole thing. And by the way, that friendship building dinner with Jake Tapper at Tapper's home came when all of us were being told we can't visit our sick relatives in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
We have to wear masks when we're taking walks outside. We can't have more than 5 people in our home at any one time, and we all have to wear masks while we're all together. Do you think Fauci and Jake Tapper wore a mask while they were having dinner together? Of course
No.
they didn't.
But you know what made me think of Fauci today? I went to Food Outlet after the morning show, and a customer came in fully masked up, not impaired in any other way physically, but fully masked up. And I wanted to tap them on the shoulder and ask, "Excuse me, what are you doing?
Right.
Why are you wearing this
Maybe,
mask?"
the only reason to wear a mask now is if they know they have an infectious disease and don't want to spread it, you know, like a cold
maybe
or
they're
a flu.
trying not to spread it.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of people. When I fly,
I
you
think
still
it's
see a lot
fair.
of people wearing masks. You know, it's I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but I read an article, and David and Greg, I want to see what you think about this. But 2020, China has an inadvertent lab leak of a virus they created. And then in the same year, they influenced an election, and that's, I think, been proven by our intelligence agency that China meddled and who was elected Biden. I can't think of 2 things that could have destroyed our country by, you know, the coronavirus and then what Biden did to our country for 4 years. And that's genius. I mean, if you are China and you're trying to destroy the West, they did a pretty damn good job.
If you're on Jeopardy, you say, "I'll take ways to destroy a country that don't involve missiles for 200, Alex." I
Right.
mean, you know, and there you go. Oh, who is Anthony Fauci and Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish
No,
we'd have
yeah,
taken
that's-
coronavirus a little bit more serious. It's like, oh, it leaked from a Chinese lab and they're not being forthcoming.
You get kicked off social media for questioning anything about.
Let's just lock
the
things
narrative
down a
then.
little bit better, you know?
Well, and it's not just those things. It's also who is funding the riots of 2020, the riot summer of 2020. Who was funding Antifa in addition to the Democratic Party? Who's funding Black Lives Matter in addition to the Democratic Party? A bunch of left-wing billionaires and a buttload of money coming in from China. Funded all those riots too.
You mean the fiery but peaceful riots?
Yeah.
Those riots. I want to make sure we're talking about the right riots.
But it was genius. I mean, their playbook, it worked. So
It sure
got to
did.
watch out for that. You got to watch out for that stuff.
And we
So
ended
what-
up with a completely fraudulent president for 4 years.
You know, Rand Paul's one of those guys I want to like, but sometimes he makes that a challenge for me.
He does.
But he seems to have. I'm seeing a shark circling blood in the water here. I think he wants to get Fauci really bad.
Yeah, I think he does. His heart's in the right place. So we'll have this hearing, and we'll see what Fauci does. You know, he has this blanket pardon for past crimes signed by Biden's auto pen, which may or may not have any real impact, real validity or impact in court.
I
It
wish they
just
had
to
a
be
determination
litigated.
on that.
Well, I suspect we're going to get one pretty soon because he's not covered for committing perjury in front of a committee of Congress under oath. So that won't be covered now. That blanket doesn't help. Pardon doesn't help him there because it's only for past crimes. Not you can't pardon someone proactively. And so, and not only that, but the other aspect of this that is yet to be explored by any state attorney general is that pardon has absolutely nothing to do with state laws that Fauci violated and people who he's responsible for their deaths because of decisions he made and the millions of school children who had an entire year of their education stolen from them because
Yes.
Fauci shut down all the schools in the country. So he doesn't, that pardon doesn't have any impact on that. And I don't understand for the life of me why none of our Republican attorneys general has taken the initiative to become the first to file charges against him.
Well, given the state thing, I guess the great hope there could be Florida, Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
Perhaps on the heels of this situation. Because Rand Paul has warned Fauci, right? You lie before Congress, your preemptive auto pen pardon will not protect. And
But will the Justice Department do anything? See, there's the problem is the Congress can have the hearings, but you have to have the Justice Department willing to punish the crime.
I'm you can almost feel squeamish when you think ahead to this hearing.
Yeah.
And they're reading these diary excerpts. And Fauci is sitting there. That's going to be uncomfortable for him at least. I mean, your
Sure it
massive
is.
ego can only pad you to a certain extent. And some of the answers that we will be getting. And does Trump deserve some culpability for not questioning this guy a little more early on? Or was he just told?
Yeah,
gotta
you
listen?
know, Trump, by April, he understood what Fauci had done and how he'd been duped by Fauci and Birx, and but he never had the courage to just say, "I'm firing both of them. I'm not going to take any more of their idiotic advice. We're not going to shut down any schools." He never did fully rebel against all that, and so yeah, he's got a lot of culpability on it because I mean, he knew by April that what the advice they had given him was wrong, and most of it was completely just made up out of thin air. There's another diary entry that talks about actually, it's an exchange of emails between him and Birx.
Oh,
talking about how masks and how at one point, Fauci says, well, we don't really have good science about the mask. And Birx writes back and she says, well, we ought to just tell everybody to wear them anyway, because so many people are already doing it anyway. So why don't we just go ahead and tell them they work. Right. So, and then the 6 foot social distancing, that was just a number Fauci pulled out of the air one day in a conversation in the Oval Office.
Yeah, because at the end of all of it, he admitted the number was actually 19.
19,
29 feet.
Yeah, 29, right. Yeah, it was even longer than 20 feet. I remember that. And
let's
and even then, it's nonsense. It's just BS, regardless, at any length. It's just BS. Because
May I play?
This was the flu. It was the flu.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Well, we didn't have any flu cases that whole year, which was
Right.
miraculous when you think back to it.
Yeah.
May I share with you a minute of Fauci versus Fauci?
My name is Dr. Tony Fauci. I'm the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at NIH. People should not be walking around with masks.
If a person wants to put on 2 masks, I see no reason to tell them not to.
Follow the Fauci. Travel restrictions are not going to help. You can't just travel restrict everyone. It is not a good idea to travel, period.
To the real Dr. Fauci, thank you for your calm and your clarity.
And then we'll have herd immunity. Quite frankly, that is nonsense. You very likely could have overwhelming majority of the people vaccinated, which means you'd have herd immunity that would allow you to safely get people back to school.
Fauci and other experts told us that 60% of America would have to be vaccinated before we could get back to normal. Now, Fauci tells the New York Times it could be 90%. And he admitted he'd been deliberately moving the goalpost because America wasn't ready to hear the truth.
We've got to be careful when there's mixed messages and inconsistencies in messaging.
Said the king of mixed messages and inconsistency in messaging. What a piece of crap that man is. I
Yeah.
can't wait. So the hearing is Wednesday, first hearing. I hope it goes on for weeks. We'll have plenty to talk about on Thursday then, right?
We will have plenty. Yeah, I suspect it'll go into a second day. Paul is talking about everybody getting 2 rounds of questioning. There's 19 members, I think, on the committee, or 16, 17. Anyway, so, it'll take a while.
Oh man, I'm salivating. I just hope it's like one of these kind of things, and they just turn up the heat all day long. We're going to take our second break now, but we're still got plenty to cover here as we tour the American Idiocracy with our great friend, blogger David Blackman. Find his work at davidblackman.substack.com, his energy expertise at blackman.substack.com. Tom Moore, veteran, fighter pilot, insight. He can pick up the phone and call a general. I can't even pick up the phone and call little general. So I am overwhelmed in your presence.
It's an honor to be here.
And
I can call Dollar General.
Oh, yeah.
That's about it.
Speaking of Idiocracy, there was a story last week. This happened in Florida. A guy who was apparently highly intoxicated and had set up a petting zoo. He was arrested. He's gathered up some stray cats, made a cardboard sign, and set up a petting zoo in front of a Dollar General. And had it going for, serious, 10, 15 minutes before somebody thought, you know what, this doesn't look right. This does not look right to me. So, David, we will see you
all right
shortly, as shortly as I can make it. Wow. We are really blessed to have access to him. And man, I mean, these Monday shows with you, can I sign you up?
Sign me up. You're getting what you pay for.
I want to talk mortgages and our friends at Alabama Home Mortgage for a moment, because everybody's, well, what's the mortgage interest rates and stuff? Talked about this in the morning show, maybe not in the afternoon. But the fact is, even if mortgage rates are in the 6 to 7% area, they've been twice that high in the past. People still bought houses.
Yep.
It very much becomes an individual situation, your need. Getting the best rate, you always want that, of course, but the process should engage a great team of consultants who don't act like consultants. They're more like the wise folks in your family that you turn to when you need the best possible advice. That's what Alabama Home Mortgage is. With Madeline and Kim and that great team over there, with all the years of experience, all the hundreds and hundreds of people they've helped live the American dream here in the River region. Because I bought my first house in Montgomery when interest rates were about where they're at now. You can always refi if they come down. There's ways to do it. You just want to make sure you can handle whatever it is. And this is what they do. This is where they're going to come. They're going to be honest with you. They would rather see you get a mortgage that works than one that doesn't. So you'll get the truth. You'll get the numbers. And they'll do everything they can to help you through the process, whether you're a first-time home buyer or you're a veteran in this. Alabama Home Mortgage. Please reach out at 567-4223. 567-4223. You've heard Madeline and Kim on the radio station many, many times. Got to have them back here in the afternoon, too. Maybe on a Wednesday. I like that idea. They're an equal housing lender, NMLS number 1586368 for Alabama Home Mortgage. We thank them for their support. At 4:30, traffic
In the
news.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic Center, they're still working that accident, 85 northbound, just past Perry Hill. But on the positive side, traffic is really streaming through. It's just blocking the far right-hand lane. Be careful there. Get $3,000 customer cash on a new Toyota Tundra, and also the lowest tax rates in Alabama. It's all at McKinnon Toyota. Great people. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212. They're off I-65 in Clanton. I'm Jerry Howell for Montgomery Skywatch, filling in for Wendell J.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News.
Former State Senator Dick Brubaker believes that the U.S. is fighting a proxy war for Israel when it comes to all of the U.S. military attacks going on in Iran. Brubaker was on FM Talk 106.5 out of Mobile when he spoke about the issue that he has been following very diligently since his son is an active duty member.
When you can't even define your own war aims, are just bad ideas. And I'm hoping that Trump will, at the very least, not let this conflict escalate into something even more destructive. And also, I think it's high time that, I don't know. It's hard not to think that this latest round against Iran was instigated by the Israelis. And if we are running our foreign policy based on what's good for Israel, that's not good. When we got the ceasefire with Iran, what's the first thing the Israelis did to break it up? They started bombing Lebanon, just out of the blue. And, they have no desire to see the United States cease this armed conflict with Iran.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
The news cycle can be overwhelming, to say the least. Andrea Tice cuts through all the noise with the daily detail from 1819 News, Alabama and national news in just 10 to 15 minutes. What you need to know before you start your day. Find the daily detail wherever you get your podcast.
The new Foley Public Library is set for a grand opening this coming August 4th. The 40,000 square foot facility is located on Orange Avenue and is twice the size of the former library that is currently next to the City Hall. The old building will be renovated for municipal purposes. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web, or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
It is 45. By the way, thank you, our much beloved and glorious Terry Adams, for the intro. Brant McDonald, Mr. Right on the Money, joining us now at 4:35. Brant, good afternoon. Big start in the market, kind of settled down. What's your take for today?
Yeah, first of all, let's just draw attention where it should be. I mean, Wednesday, we're going to get the announcement from the Fed. Some people think this is a quote, live meeting, meaning that they could actually change the rate on policy. And who knows, maybe they do, but I kind of doubt it. And so the market will be really looking to that Wednesday report and certainly the press conference, the second one by Kevin Warsh, the new Fed chair. Outside of that, we've had a few days now with no activity. The bombing has sort of stopped for the time being anyway, and that kind of helped us in the oil markets. It helped a little bit with the overall indexes. But this is another big week of earnings too, Greg, and we've got the Magnificent Seven reporting earnings throughout this week. So we have a lot of things that are going to be quite market moving. The ongoing discussion around Iran, of course, monetary policy on Wednesday with the Fed meeting, and then these big earnings reports that will come out, as I said, throughout the week. Outside of that, there's really not a whole lot other than we did get a GDP report today, and it looks like much of the same. In 2025, the economy grew by 2%. So far, it looks like we're on pace to finish around 2.1%. Pretty much the same as usual. And, oh, by the way, a lot of that is this artificial intelligence and CapEx spending around AI infrastructure, and then also the U.S. military and its defense budget, which has been helping GDP activity as well. So not a whole lot to write home about, but certainly we'll be right there with you on Wednesday particularly. Now, tomorrow we're going to be in studio with you.
Yes.
I'm hoping we can crank that up around 10 after 3 or 3:15 and be with you for about an hour.
Okay.
And we've got some exciting news to announce, some exciting firm news, and we really look forward to it.
Brant, thank you for your time this afternoon. We will see you tomorrow afternoon right here.
You got it, buddy. Take care.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Back with David Blackman following Rich's forecast in 2 minutes.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years. I would try drugstore insoles and supports.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, we know the search for pain relief can feel like a hopeless ordeal.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections. I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
At the Good Feet store, we hear stories every day of all kinds of cheap inserts, expensive shoes, and other failed remedies people have tried that just didn't work.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked. And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I'm so glad I met Good Feet. That changed my life.
Don't lose hope. Give the Good Feet store a try.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
If you're tired of average meals and rush dining, come see us. Epicure and Jack's Tavern offers wet aged steaks cut in-house, scratch-made lunches, unbeatable beer buckets, and unforgettable dinners. This is food made with pride and served with heart. We invite you to come visit soon at 2060 Downing Street in Millbrook. Epicure and Jack's Tavern. You'll taste the difference.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The big story continues to be the heat. Today was hot enough. Tomorrow will be hotter. And even tonight, very oppressive. Overnight low temperature down to about 77. Tomorrow, a heat advisory. High temperature upper 90s to maybe teasing 100, but the heat index as high as 110. In fact, even Wednesday, excessive heat indices. And I think the rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are very small with high pressure in control. Storms few and far between. Late week will be not as hot, but hot enough. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Welcome back to our News Talk 93.1 FM Monday edition of the Idiocracy with David Blackman, Tom Moore. And Tom, I think we owe it to David, who likes to go on a cruise from time to time to make him aware of something.
Uh-oh.
David, I don't know if you've heard this story, but Carnival Cruise Lines has responded to viral videos showing a guest scratching their foot fungus with a fork. We have witnesses. I have to give you the echo here for a moment.
She started scratching her foot. And we actually have a video if you would like to. I'm telling you, it's bad. It's bad.
It is, because we showed guest services and they couldn't believe it.
So this is her just scratching her foot at this point. And zoomed in so you can see the severity of her infection.
And she lives on the third, stays on the third.
It's very disgusting.
David, I don't know that you and Terry have a Carnival cruise planned,
No.
but they have assured the public
no.
they've removed the alleged fork from service.
The best line I've heard is that Carnival is the Walmart of the seas.
The Walmart.
That's good.
Clearly not a sponsor of ours.
I love that metaphor, though. It kind of makes sense. The Fun Ship Carnival. An old announcer named Ernie Anderson used to do their commercials. He was Mr. Big Voice. Did all of
And don't watch the show on Netflix called Shipwrecked before you go on your cruise.
Oh, I've watched those. I love those shows.
Is that the one with the poop cruise?
No, it's not the poop cruise. This one is about the ship that the captain ran aground in Italy.
Oh, I remember that.
And like 30 people passed, and it was just a complete poop show.
Yeah.
Costa Bravas?
Yep, you got it.
Costa. That was the line we were thinking about this morning.
Yep.
Well, it's
because
a
there
good
was
line. It's a very reputable cruise line, but it had a very bad captain.
He
on
had
that
the
cruise.
instead of a flyby, he wanted to do a cruise by to his mom, and he got a little close to the rocks.
We had a story this morning about a cruise ship. We're not trying to discourage you from going on cruises, but a cruise ship that started taking on water. The crew, the captain, everybody that you expect to see running the show, they were the first ones off. They never made an announcement. It took somebody from the band, I think, on the cruise ship to lead all the people to the, They were charged eventually. Nobody died, which is fortunate, but that was one of the weirder stories I've heard.
We did watch the documentary on the poop cruise a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that one's disgusting.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine.
Well, what a perfect setup, though, to set the table for the crack pottery that used to run the Cracker Barrel. And Justice, it took forever. You know, I stopped caring about Cracker Barrel and the whole thing with the woke but it caught up to her today. Tell us about this one, David.
Yeah, we talked a lot about this when it was going on last August. This crazy woke woman, she was the head of their communications department. Okay. Her degree is in communications. And she's a relatively young woman named Julie Fels-Massino. And I became aware of her just on a video clip of her appearing on one of the morning shows. I think it was the CBS morning show.
Oh.
And acting like a 13-year-old girl, clueless valley girl, talking about all the great, wonderful, woke things she was going to do with Cracker Barrel. And of course, we got on our show that afternoon and talked about it, and you knew it was just going to be a disaster. And sure enough, people stopped going to Cracker Barrel. She took the barrel and the old guy sitting next to the barrel off the sign, because
The old white guy sitting next to the barrel. Yeah.
And because, an old white guy sends the wrong message to the woke crowd, she was going to turn Cracker Barrel into the jewel of the woke crowd, I guess, of the highway diners. And
removing all the interior nostalgia touches.
Right, yeah.
Very sanitary, almost like a hospital cafeteria instead of a restaurant with some charm.
Right. And change the menu up and all kinds of crazy stuff. And of course, everybody quit going to Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel had a very loyal set of customers who formed the base of their customer base. And then, of course, the travelers who pull off and have dinner were the rest of it. She didn't even understand the nature of the customer base. She had zero qualification to be the CEO of the company. And it was obvious from the outset. And so it was a disaster for the company. And they refused to do the right thing and get rid of her. She was the problem. She was the source of the problem and the center of the problem. But the board wouldn't fire. And of course, so that tells you what? It tells you the board was really the problem.
Yeah.
It still is. But finally, they let her go today. And, they, typical of a corporation, they said she has decided to leave her position. And, which means she got dumped. And they've already got a guy to replace her. And who knows if he'll be any good as some guy. What's his name? David something. David. No, I hate that he has my name. David Deno, Deno. And, maybe he'll do better. But, I mean, the damage has been done. The company's never really recovered fully from the fiasco last year. And, whether this guy's got any ideas that will help it recover, I don't know. But I just think it's kind of one of those things that'll limp along until it all collapses and they have to shut them all down. Like Red Lobster, which still has a few restaurants in isolated places.
That's hard to believe.
Macaroni Grill was another one. The same kind of thing happened to. So, it's a shame. Cracker Barrel was a really reliable, if you're just looking for a decent, quick meal in the middle of your journey, you could hop off the road. You knew it was going to be clean. You knew what the menu was. you know, and you knew it was safe for kids to be there and everything. And it's a shame, you know, that you just hired this crazy person who didn't understand the
Well, you know
product
what?
she had.
But doesn't she profile in appearance like every other white suburban housewife, liberal, that can't destroy the country fast enough with her brilliant ideas?
Yeah. So, you know,
With the straight
that's who
hair
they
shit.
decided to put in charge and with very predictable results.
She'll probably be the next governor of New Jersey or Virginia or
Whatever
some other
state she
place
lives in.
that wants to vote for wan looking, straight haired, glasses wearing, unsexy women who, you know, Cracker Barrel could have spared themselves monumental grief if they had just asked her one question. Not what were you thinking? Have you ever eaten here before?
Yeah. Have you ever eaten anything on our menu? Do you
Yeah.
have any understanding of what the product is?
Were you ever a customer here? Did you ever walk in and have the experience of?
Did you ever play tic-tac-toe with our little game?
Yeah.
Or whatever that game.
They should have put the triangle down
Yeah.
with the golf
Solve it.
keys and said, "Please solve this for us." It's a critical part of your interview. So
They coulda
good
got
riddance.
the two guys from the movie Office Space to come into her office and sit down across her desk and say, "What is it you would say you do here?"
David, I have people skills.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a growing number of GOP senators saying cancel the August recess. How could they, with any kind
Thune
of
isn't gonna
conscience?
let that happen. You know, Thune isn't gonna let. So yeah, they're gonna object. Okay, so you refuse to, you object to the majority leader's motion for unanimous consent to adjourn, and every senator has the right to do that. So what does that mean? Well, it means you delay the adjournment by 15 to 30 minutes, however long it takes for the roll to be counted and for Thune to reorganize another vote. And so if 5 of them do it, then you're delaying everybody from departing for a couple hours. And they're all mad at you, and Thune's mad at you. And, you know, but okay, it's a good symbolic thing. It's a good symbolic thing. And if you can get 51 people to go along with it, then you don't adjourn at all.
We're not changing topics here, but we do have a call. It's Gabby, the golf pro, joining us. Hey, Gabby.
All right.
Yes, sir. How are you guys doing?
Good to hear from you. Hope life is treating you well. What's on your mind this afternoon?
Oh, I was just wanting to tell you that I'm so glad to hear you back on the air, and I just left the cigar store, and they told me that Jay had some issues too, and I'm like, man, I'm glad y'all are working your way through all those health issues, man.
Yeah. Well, no, I never get, garden variety day-to-day stuff. I need a surgery every 8 years. When I come out, go through
Are they letting you ride your bike yet?
No.
No, not
No,
yet.
as much
Okay.
as I want to resume full activity right now,
No, you got to be smart.
no, I could not sit on a bike seat right now, not because of where the
I
stitches
bet.
are, you see.
No, baby. Well,
I have a
you just know
newly
I'm-
discovered empathy, though, for baseball players with groin problems. Gabby, thanks. Good to
Oh.
hear from you, my friend. You take care. By the way, we get to baseball at the end, but I am so sick of injured baseball players. What are these guys doing? Sounds like
they're
they're
the frailest bunch of people I've ever seen in my life.
it's pathetic. They would have never survived in the old days when they played a whole season for $40,000 a year, not for $40,000 in at bat.
Yeah.
It's and I think it's look at Vlad Guerrero with the Blue Jays. They signed him. They gave him his $500 million. He hasn't even hit a home run in his home park yet this season.
Yeah, he's he got 6 on the year, I think.
6
total.
on the year. This is a guy that reliably did 35 to 40. Okay. Then the Blue Jays have a right to expect that, but did they get anything back? And now they got 14 more years of this fat ass clogging up first base.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's the risk you take.
That's why I couldn't
the
own a
Dodgers
team.
did that with what's his name, the left-handed right fielder, Kyle Walker. And
Kyle Tucker?
Kyle Tucker, sorry. And he's hit 8 home runs and he's batting about 230 and
He's
They
making
gave him
60
$60
million.
Yeah, 60 million.
Insane. I don't care how much money they have. Don't you feel like, what the hell was I thinking when you signed that paycheck? Oh my God.
I don't. It's just terrible. It's a terrible business.
On the lighter side of the news, the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I never have the stomach to watch it, really, because it's just one giant festival of libtards. What was your evaluation of Trump's performance this year?
I watched the clips. I didn't watch it live either, but I mean, it seemed to me that the speech fell pretty flat.
I watched it live. It was because he boycotted the
Right.
This was his actual first one that he's attended.
And the first one he's attended without getting shot.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I guess it was the second one he attended. But it was funny because obviously someone wrote the speech for him, and you couldn't tell when it was jokes or him just ranting. It was and he talked for a long time too. But and I think, David, you mentioned it, but the Bud Light comment was the best one.
Yeah.
Caitlin Collins. I can't stand her.
I can't.
And she's a local girl too. She grew up around Montgomery.
Prattville.
Yeah, Prattville, and then she went to Alabama. But she is Karen the curmudgeon in my world. But
people forget Caitlin Collins was on Fox for 3 years pretending to be conservative before she went to CNN.
Well, she did come from Alabama, so what else
Right.
could she be, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible to me, how these journalists, pretend to have one set of political views on one channel, then they go to the other one and have another set of political views, and nobody in the media ever questions them about it, right? They don't police their own at all. But that was the best joke he told, because no one now is anyone who sees that side by side of Caitlin Collins and Dylan Mulvaney, those
spitting
people
image.
could be sisters.
Yep.
I mean, they really could.
And once CNN viewers see it, as you so blithely point out, you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, man. It's going to haunt her.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in her dorm, man, just to hear the liberal grousing and bitching that must be going on 24/7, 365. The person that replaced Nazi Graham Plattner in Maine looks like a relative of his.
Yeah, he's
Who is this
he's
guy?
a dud. I mean, they're going to be really disappointed. This guy, he ran for governor last time, finished third in the primary. But, he's been fairly successful overall. He was a state senator for several terms and ended up being the president of the Senate in one of them. And so, he's at least a seasoned politician. But Susan Collins she's tough to run against in that state. And I don't expect him to have any real success. He'll be ahead in the first polls that are taken here in the next week or two.
Sure.
They'll show him a little bit ahead, but that always happens with Susan Collins. But then as election day approaches, she always ends up.
Well, the CNN guy, and the Democrats have invited their own ship to sink because they've embraced the DSA, the commies, and they're making people nervous. And I'm sorry, people are not going to run to embrace that. They'll still vote for Republicans because Trump's not on the ticket, so you're not really voting for him anyway.
Right.
So
And the other problem this guy that they nominated has is he's clearly not on board with the socialist program, even though he's going to claim to be because he has to in that race. But his record is very moderate for a Democrat, and he's on the record about he's got the same problem this weirdo Tallarico has in Texas. He said many things on the record now, you can't run away from it. Right. He's got a long and very detailed record of what his real positions on the issues are. And so that's going to be a real problem for him. Susan Collins is a pro, man. Whatever else you think about her, when it comes to campaigning, she's a real pro.
I want to thank you for helping me prove that I was alive in the hospital by having Mitch McConnell's wife stop by. Do we really have definitive proof that Mitch is still ticking, that he is not in rigor tortis?
I'm skeptical about it, but Grok again does say that the picture they posted today is not AI generated.
It's not
on
Weekend
the
at
first
Bernie's
one-
3.
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
right. Remember last Sunday or Saturday before last, they posted that first picture, right, with him and his wife.
Yeah.
Mitch sitting there in that shirt in the chair in the hospital room. And that was on a Sunday. And I went out to Grok and I said, is this photo generated by AI? And that was like 7:00 that night. And Grok came back with a definitive answer that yes, it was AI generated, and here's why. And so, I went to bed, okay, somebody's pulling a hoax, and I just didn't pay any more attention to it. Got up the next morning, and suddenly it had become real.
Oh.
I mean, a real photo. And so I went back to Grok and I asked the question again, and Grok says at that point it's real. So, I don't know what to think about that. It feels like manipulation to me. They're trying to get to the August 3rd recess so that the question just essentially goes away for 4 or 5 weeks. And then I guess in September, when they come back, we'll know for sure one way or the other. But apparently no one in the media is remotely curious enough to try to talk to anyone at the hospital where he is.
No.
and
Why would they
ask.
do that?
Yeah. So incredible.
Hey, we did try to warn New York about Mamdani. We tried to tell them this is not what you think it's going to be. And now, God, the idea of him being at the 9/11
Yeah, what an
memorial.
abomination if he does, and I assume he will go to it. He is the mayor of the city.
And some people are, the families don't want him anywhere near it.
Right.
Families of the
There's
people
a
that were killed.
petition being circulated with,
But even the people that he
16,000
pandered to, that he made promises he knew he couldn't keep, they're getting wise to him. Would you say that's a fair categorization?
Yeah, slowly but surely there was a protest outside Gracie Mansion over the weekend, several hundred people protesting him and his policies and the rent control especially, which never works anywhere it's ever tried. It's always a massive failure
course.
and detriment. But they're going down that road, and then today announced he's going to open, what is it, 5 grocery stores in
Oh,
various
yeah.
parts of the
Free
city
grocery stores.
that he claims will be 30% discounted prices from regular grocery stores. I'll wait and see how that works out too. If they
Why
are
do people fall
30%
for this?
discounted, it's going to be spoiled meat and
Yeah.
nasty produce and
I heard there's only really a handful of foodstuffs that are actually literally free or at a ridiculously low price for this thing, and everything else is comparable retail.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not the whole store. There's like bread, eggs, some stuff like that. And
where,
if that's
where
the
you
free
gonna get
stuff,
the suppliers who are going to supply that at those prices? That's
Yeah.
what I can't figure out.
well, the rich people are going to pay for it. See, oh, wait a minute. All the rich
Wait,
people
we're
have
all
moved
going
out of New York. It's funny, New York's population isn't decreasing, but the population of rich people is.
Yeah.
They're being replaced by, well, you have to make an income to live there at all, but they don't have the kind of wealth that builds businesses and provides other revenue sources. So they're just circling the bowl, man. It's going to be
They
a
are.
glorious thing to watch.
They are.
And then finally, last on our
Finally.
tour of the Idiocracy,
I've done some dumb things, and I'll do dumb things again.
what's our update on Old Joe today, David?
Old Joe's got a big problem. The D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that he has to, or that the Justice Department can make public the recordings of his 2-day interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur that took place in 2023 and led to the conclusion that he's too senile to pursue any charges against him for misusing classified information. And then also, not just that, but also the recordings he had with the fellow who actually did write his autobiography that Biden claimed last week he wrote, which went on for weeks at a time. And apparently he revealed all sorts of highly classified information during
Oh,
those
my God.
interviews. So that's all going to be made public now. And it's going to be really interesting to see what the fallout of that is.
Is that covered by the pardon he gave himself?
I don't think he gave himself a pardon, did he? I don't believe the Autopen signed one for him.
Yeah, there was one
That disloyal Autopen forgot about that one.
one person that you forgot, Joe.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard.
Here's the thing: we always wrap up with a little baseball chat, but today is a big week for baseball fans who really do get invested in teams. The Yankees lose Cody Bellinger 4 to 6 weeks. They have nobody that can hit the ball. Nobody. It's. I don't know when Judge is coming back, but now they've got no Bellinger. They're going to be making. This is the last week before the trade deadline, which is Monday, for a week from today.
Next
so we'll
Monday,
see a lot of big names get moved around.
I think so. The problem is the teams, all the races are so close. There's so many teams packed up, with just a few games out of playoff contention.
Yeah.
That nobody really knows who the sellers are going to be this time. So it's going to be really frantic at the end.
Well, proving once again that money is no object and is no guarantee of success. The New York Mets will be one of those sellers.
Yes, they'll be a seller.
You know what they should do? They should go out and buy back Pete Alonso and the other guy they let go,
man.
Nimmo, and
I
stop.
couldn't believe when they let Alonso go. He was a fan favorite, man, the polar bear.
You know what? This is where baseball analytics went overboard.
Yeah.
The projections are and the peripheral stats. Stop it! This is not a peripheral game. This is not a mathematics class. He wanted to play in New York. He wanted to play for you with his heart and soul and make the fans happy, and you let him walk to Baltimore?
Yeah, really dumb.
Morons. All right, I'm in a weakened state, and I shouldn't be getting this emotional. But that's how it goes. David, thank you so much for your time
Thank you.
today. Outstanding
See you on
show.
Thursday.
We really appreciate it. Okay, and we will have this show posted sometime early tomorrow morning. Tales of the Idiocracy with our friend David Blackman and Tom Moore on Monday. I mean, does it get better than this?
Does not.
It doesn't. Does not. Thank you both.
All right.
All right, 3 minutes after 5 o'clock. By the way, again, subscribe to David's work at davidblackman.substack.com. And for energy expertise you won't find anywhere else, blackman.substack.com. Traffic with Jerry, then we're back.
In the Montgomery Skywatch Traffic Center, there's still work at that accident 85 northbound at Perry Hill off to the right-hand side. Just enough to slow things down a little bit. The boulevard doing good all the way around the city. Invincible Fence has both indoor and outdoor systems to keep your pets safe and in designated areas. Call Vicki at Invisible Fence for all the information. 334-265-2585. I'm Jerry Howell for Montgomery Skywatch, filling in for Wendell J.
You can't say you've tried the River Region's best barbecue until you've been to Smoky Notes on Northeastern Boulevard. Right there where the It'll Do Tavern used to be, you turn left if you're going north on the boulevard at the Petro Station, and just follow your nose to the front door because the barbecue in there is excellent. Whether you're doing pulled pork or chicken or some of the great sandwiches like the Monte Cristo, the Smash Burger, the food is sensational. And people are raving about the sides. Like macaroni and cheese with an Alfredo base. The baked beans are awesome. Cabbage is one of the sides, and it's got a little Conecuh sausage and quite the kick in it. Absolutely awesome. Potato twists, everybody loves those. And what a choice of sauces you have to top off whatever you choose on the menu. Again, you want great barbecue? Get to Smoky Notes on Northeastern Boulevard near Lagoon Park on the west side. Turn left at the Petro Station or right, as the case may be, for Smoky Notes.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River Region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients. From making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly, to getting to know you and your family's needs, and following up on any questions you may have, Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
What are you getting? Still deciding, but I do know on August 11th, I'm choosing Rep Marcus for Congress. Why Rep Marcus? Because he's a true conservative, endorsed by President Trump and Senator Katie Britt. Oh, then you can trust him. And he's a small business owner, not a politician. Sounds like this choice on August 11th is the easiest decision we'll ever make.
Remember to vote on August 11th. I'm Rat Marcus, the Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ret for Alabama.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bells Cleaning Service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bells because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
You're tuned into the only show that still uses 8-track tapes.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
Here's your 510.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Fire crews in southwest France are battling a massive wildfire that's burned an area 4 times the size of Paris. The place forced 220,000 people to flee near Bordeaux. The interior minister says the fire stopped growing, offering a glimmer of hope, even though another 50,000 people cleared out away from their homes overnight as a precaution. Mediators say they have made progress in efforts to bring the U.S. and Iran back to the bargaining table. Scattered attacks by armed groups across the region are underscoring the lingering tensions and also raising questions about who's behind them. Neither the U.S. nor Iran have claimed any strikes for the past 3 days. A big IPO in China. Shares of the Chinese memory chip maker CXMT have soared as the company began its trading in Shanghai. That was mainland China's biggest IPO in recent years. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 263. This is SRN News.
Mr. Electric presents the most electrifying story of the day. For service, installation, and upfront pricing, call Mr. Electric at 245-1566. Here with today's high voltage news, it's Greg Budell.
I hate to say it this way, but the most electrifying stories today were the ones that gave me that primal feeling of good. Cracker Barrel, canning the CEO, long overdue. How much money did that company lose by hanging on to her because they didn't want to fire a woman?
Yeah, remember the shenanigans over the sign?
Yes.
They had to they redid one, and then all of a sudden they had to pay a ton of money to go back to the old logo.
Well, I heard people say, well, you're so upset they took an old man off. They took a white old man off. And that was by design because that's what overeducated, libtard, white suburban women do. You know, it's like, I feel threatened by them.
It's like taking Aunt Jemima off the maple syrup.
Was there ever a dumber move in marketing?
Land O'Lakes, the Indian on the butter. Oh.
Again, what is wrong with people that see that as offensive?
These are
icons being celebrated.
Yep.
Yeah, the Aunt Jemima thing especially. She was one of the first African-American women to be given an iconic position. And they did change her uniform so she didn't look like a servant.
Right.
When they originally debuted that I believe in the 20s.
How about the Mrs. Butterworth? You remember that? Where it was actually the bottle, the shape
Yeah.
like a person of the maple syrup?
Is Mrs. Butterworth still around? Does the
Probably
bottle
not.
still look like Mrs. Butterworth?
No, it's probably they butter.
Only no, it's Ms. Butterworth now.
Yeah.
That's what the woke would do, idiots. And you know what? All of that is nothing more than a big disguise, a big blanket to throw over your own prejudices. I will never be convinced otherwise. So that was electrifying. And then your pre-electrification story is Anthony Fauci appearing in a hearing in Congress. He does have the protection of a presidential pardon, but
Was that from Trump?
no, that was from Biden.
Biden gave Fauci a pardon?
He gave thousands of people because he knew they were committing crimes all over the place, including that wretched child of his, that no good, ne'er-do-well thief of a son, who, by the way, one thing that came out over the weekend, and you probably didn't see it because it didn't get much coverage on non-conservative media, but Hunter admitted they were on the hook for $2 million a year from China just for favors, access, that kind of thing. They all belong in jail. The entire Biden family, Joe, his brother, that puke of a kid. And then, frankly, many women will be safe when they're all breaking rocks or whatever.
I'm sure Fauci will plead the fifth.
But you know what? I think most people, when they see that clip of him pleading the fifth, not answering a question directly from a guy named Rand Paul, who even Democrats, they don't equate him with Donald Trump.
Right.
Which is, in this case, to his advantage. They're just doing it for Donald Trump. I think when anybody hears somebody plead the fifth, they know that they have done something wrong. I mean, the Constitution says you can't incriminate yourself. All I know is if I didn't do what I was being accused of, you would have to pull me off the table in the courtroom because I'd be screaming my innocence to the world. There's nothing that blows my gasket bigger and better than being accused of something I didn't do. I know a few people in the radio. I could give you some references, Tom. It's seriously. We already spoke with Brant McDonald today. There was some good economic news. The economy's growing and stuff. And as David pointed out, we are going to see gas prices settle and maybe drop until whatever happens next. And who knows what that's going to be. NBA player laments Mamdani's Netanyahu stunt as poor lesson for next generation. Wow, a basketball player actually came up with that. I got a clip from Victor Davis Hanson I want to play this afternoon as well. He's one of the best minds on the planet.
Yeah, Hannity has him a lot on at night, and it's always good to hear his perspective.
He is like one of the smartest people, especially from the standpoint of history.
Right.
And he never makes a statement or offers an opinion that isn't totally backed up by facts, which somehow he keeps close at hand. It is 15 minutes after 5 o'clock. Voted best flooring, voted best kitchen and bath, voted best window coverings and decorations. That's Georgia Floors Direct. It's all under one big roof on the boulevard across from Lowe's, run by my friend Jeff Mallinson, who stocks inventory in the container size variety, not trucks, containers of inventory. It's a lot to navigate, but he's got a remarkable group over there. You've heard me refer to them to the Merry Band of Floyers. A jolly and festive group of people who will be happy to show you whatever you're interested in seeing, whatever budget you happen to be shopping with. By the way, qualified customers can do 12 months good as cash. Whatever you choose will be installed by their people, so there's no excuses. And they back up every single job they take. And that's why year after year, they win in those consumer-voted categories. Plus, they finished to second to Baptist Hospital as best place to work in the River Region. That's pretty impressive. They've been where they are for half a century on the boulevard across from Lowe's, the flooring destination since 1969. Please mention we sent you there. Rich's forecast after traffic.
In the Montgomery Skylights Traffic Center, they're working an accident with entry south Decatur at High Street. Be careful there. Traffic streaming out of the downtown area right now. Be careful. There's something special about a small town restaurant like the Front Porch Grill.
It's a place where you know the people, the food is special, just like home. From Pork's Grill in Millbrook next to Food Outlet, I'm Jerry Howell for Montgomery Skywatch, filling in for Wendell J.
Rich Thomas weather is brought to you by Victoryland.
Win a BMW X7 or your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's BMW and $25,000 free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too.
Hi, everybody. The big story continues to be the heat. Today was hot enough. Tomorrow will be hotter. And even tonight, very oppressive. Overnight low temperature down to about 77. Tomorrow, a heat advisory. High temperature upper 90s to maybe teasing 100, but the heat index is high as 110. In fact, even Wednesday, excessive heat indices. And I think the rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are very small with high pressure in control. Storms few and far between. Late week will be not as hot, but hot enough. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
I don't have enough saved.
My credit has to be perfect.
I'll never qualify in this market.
Most of those beliefs are based on outdated information or advice from someone who bought a house 20 years ago. The truth is, many buyers need far less saved than they think. Guidelines change, loan programs evolve, and what applied years ago most likely doesn't apply to you today. The biggest mistake you can make is speculating about the rules or letting myths keep you on the sideline. Instead, call us at Alabama Home Mortgage. Let us educate you on what's actually required to buy a home. And if today isn't the right time, that's okay. We'll give you a clear, realistic game plan so you know exactly what to work toward and how to get there. Buying a home or getting a mortgage shouldn't feel mysterious or overwhelming. It should feel informed, supported, and achievable. Let us guide you through the process every step of the way. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google.
For more than 50 years, the Tears family's been keeping the river region flowing with Roto-Rooter. From drain cleaning to septic repair and installation, no job's too big or too messy with a local team you can trust. So when water won't go where it's supposed to, call the hometown experts who've been serving Montgomery for over half a century. That's 272-7130. Or visit rotorooteralabama.com. And remember,
call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and we go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. Live local talk, the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Sit down, I'm going to do a new song. And if you get it, you just get it. Well, I don't know if we really landed people on the moon. I'm not sure if Lady Gaga uses auto-tune. I'm uncertain there'll be peace over in the Middle East. But I just saw a big sign, honey, and one thing is true, that I do know we'll be stopping at Buc-ee's. Time to have some fun. Like a gas station, car wash, barbecue, Cracker Barrel, Walmart, all in one. I've been driving these wide open spaces. Now I need a redneck oasis. Take my money, bucket, baby. It's my lucky day. Wild sauce with beaver nuggets, try a little fudge. Turkey and a pulled pork sandwich just because. Get a leather bolo and a hoodie for the wife. Cast iron frying pan, tappy and a knife. Get some roasted pecans, shoes for the dog. Positive encouragement painted on a log. A large banana pudding, a Cali chicken wrap, a coffee for the journey, a Bucky Beaver cap. What's up, West Virginia? No, we'll be stopping at Bucky's. It's my ritual. Stomach's growling, my gas tank's empty, and my bladder's full. I've been hanging with the unwashed masses, Bible verses on shot glasses. Take my money, bucket, baby, sit and roll. Homemade gravy, take my money, bucket, honey, it's my lucky day.
Cultural translate. By the way, Tim Hawkins is awesome. News Talk 93.1 FM in the 5 o'clock hour. We've had a very busy news day. We've had a lot of things to take seriously, and now we just lighten up a little bit. So, Tom Moore, sidekicking today, was asking about my recent hospital stay and the procedure and all that. And I that's what I did on Sunday, was I wrote the story. And some people may be disappointed because it's not whiny. It's not go pick up a straw and suck it up kind of stuff. It's the challenge, because the hospital was great. Pre-op, in all of it. I mean, the admission, everything. I can't say enough good things about Baptist Hospital. Our friend, Dr. David Thrasher, my surgeon, Dr. Ingalls, his nurse, Naomi. Amazing people. It was my addiction as a smoker that was the biggest challenge. I remember being in his office, and he's telling me, this is what we need to do. Because Dr. Thrasher said, by the way, good thing you had it done, because that's what got Lindsey Graham. So, because if that thing burst,
yeah, you're
that's
toast.
it. You bleed out, you're done. I mean, not terribly painful, but it's over. And I think I still have work to do, or bills to pay. I have to work to pay the whatever. Anyway, so, and Dr. Ingalls, you know what? Have you had a surgery?
I've had two. I had a shoulder surgery, and then I had a hernia.
I've had a shoulder done too, rotator cuff.
Yeah, that was not fun.
No.
Physical therapy and the recovery from
Oh
that,
my God.
no bueno.
I felt like somebody, actually, two on the right show, it's been very abused. I had a rotator cuff rebuild, and when I came out of that, I felt like somebody had buried a sword in my shoulder, about 3 or 4 inches wide. But this is in the, I think it was 91. The doctor was able to prescribe permission to smoke.
No, wow.
And even with that, the misery from the pain, I was hitting the morphine drip as often as I could. Sometimes it'll give you stuff, sometimes it won't. It was bad. Then I got hit by a car in 1997 or 8.
This was in Miami?
Yeah. And I knew the car was going to hit me, and it's amazing how fast your mind can work. So I thought, if I don't move, it's going to hit me. That part of it was not.
Yeah, they say if you tense up, it's worse.
Well, I quickly looked, that car is going to catch me in the hip. I can't take it there because I could be paralyzed. So I leaned over and I got it in the upper left arm and then launched approximately 18 feet over the inside lane of the highway with oncoming traffic. into the middle lane where I'm there in a heap. And I'm watching my arm is swelling up to the size of a leg really fast, and God, did it hurt.
This is why you were on a bike?
Yes. Well, I was walking it through the intersection.
Gotcha.
And somebody was here on a work visa from a third world country who did not speak English, apparently could not read STOP. She had no insurance. And it destroyed my life for at least 2 or 3 months. And I didn't get a penny for that.
Jeez.
I could have taken her car, but
yeah,
it was a piece of crap. And what am I going to do? So I had that. That was lots of fun. And there was a point to this. Well, anyway, you read the whole thing was now they can't prescribe unless you build your own hospital. You can, even then you probably couldn't smoke. So that's what I was worried about. Dr. Ingalls is explaining, well, and he's using an actual 3D model to explain this amazing science that allows them to go in and capture the aorta, fix it, and the whole time he's talking, I'm thinking, what am I going to do if I can't smoke? That's addiction right there.
Was he okay with you? Is it a vape-free facility? Are you not supposed
I didn't
to
ask.
Yeah,
because if I don't ask, then I can't say we told you couldn't do that.
The toothpick was genius. That's very, very.
I got to thank Jane Ray from our sales department for those, and that did help. You know, because it's not just the nicotine; it's the thing in your hand and your mouth and all that. I mean, that's all part of the mental illness.
Yeah,
comes with smoking addiction. So I decided to write this whole adventure into a column, and Tom just read it. What did it make you laugh?
Good. It was a good synopsis, and then you gave a shout out to Baptist. I think that was great. You know, the Grant pieces, it hits home because I think he had symptoms and he was supposed to go to a doctor's appointment. He put it off. So just seeing so many signs these days of, colon cancer coming earlier. People need to get colonoscopies and just taking care of your body and not putting that off. I think that's what I hope when people read it, that someone is like, hey, maybe I should take care
Did
of
it
it.
make you laugh?
Yeah. It did. I liked all the acronyms as a military guy.
Thank
the
you.
The
unindicted co-conspirator.
That's
yeah.
the UCC. That's the best.
That was my dealer, man.
I think you have a fan calling.
I don't know. We never know until we say hello. Hi, who's this?
Good afternoon, handsome.
Whoa, I told you.
Oh, hi.
Sweetheart, this is Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island, the retired one.
Oh, the retired Mary Ann as opposed to...
I love you, and you guys are so much better than television.
That Mary Ann.
That Mary Ann. Greg, I've been listening. I've been paying attention, okay? But with my 16-month-old granddaughter I told you about, who's busy, okay, let me tell you, my days of keeping, I don't have a chance to call in that much. But in the meantime, the reason I'm calling is because of your experience. I am so glad it went so well for you. I was worried. I was praying. I was saying prayers just like all the rest of the river region area. But, I mean, Greg, I'm so glad it was so good. I had an experience from January through April at Baptist South. And it's okay. I'm okay. I still got my brother with me right now. I got to get him to Mobile. But it was an awesome experience for my family, too.
The success of the surgery, of course, was very damaging to liberals who hate me. Said, I prayed to God that you would go during it, and you made it. There's no God. But,
Yeah, but what he was saying come April was the Lord has risen. But Greg, it was such an awesome experience. The nurses, staff, everybody there, they helped us so much, okay? So I'm just praying you just don't mess up Dr. Ingalls' artwork, please.
Well, he's going to tell me that again a week from today at 9:30 in the morning. And honestly, I have not. I have had
Don't- oh,
no post-op
if you need-
complications other than what you
If
expect.
you need to lay down and rest, just lay down and just take a power nap or something.
Let me ask you a question. May I ask you? I'll ask Tom this too. This whole experience has given me time to think and wonder if I should cut back to one show a day.
Which one would you pick?
I would want my listeners to pick it for me. You know, I don't know. I mean, I've been a morning guy for most of my life, and I love the mornings. But working with David Blackman, Tom, and Thesby, and all the people that come in, Terry Adams, who have made afternoons fun, Eddie Bader. I mean, I don't know. It's like picking between your kids.
Somebody asked me, they said, if something happened to Greg, what would they do? And I said, I don't know. There is no other Greg. I mean, there are people that can fill in and help out, and we made it happen in the morning, but it's big shoes to fill. But I like Joey's schedule, and I think at your age, you should wholeheartedly pick one. Because I told that to Rich and Jay. I said, I don't know how he comes in the morning and then goes home, and that's got to be like, when it gets to be like 2:15, you're probably like, God, oh, okay. Fine, let's go. You know, that's just, it's hard to work and then to have the strength to want to come back and do it again. So
I love doing it, but, you know, honestly, you know, nobody here is getting rich, but I do have enough to where I can still spoil my daughter, not in ridiculous ways.
Yeah.
In thoughtful dad ways, in grown-up dad ways. And my other loved ones. I don't want anything. There's nothing I need. I got a 2019 Rogue that's paid for. So what the hell else do I need?
Yeah.
So it's not about money.
it's
It's
do you
how
mind
can I
getting
live
up-
another 5 or 10 years?
Do you like getting up early?
I do. I mean, I've been doing it for so long. It's imbued in me. I even on weekends, if I sleep in, it's 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm still the first one up on my street.
The morning shows seem a little easier. They're more livelier. It's more easygoing. You know,
That's one
easier on your heart.
Great point, because it's a little less stressful. We
Yeah.
tend to talk more about topical stuff. For
Did you know? Fun facts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're a good fit in that format, by the way, my friend.
It was fun. It was.
Marianne, what would you vote for?
I can't say because, Greg, even though I retired December 1st of last year, I still get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy the sunset and I enjoy the sunrise too, to be honest with you.
What would
okay?
you do in the afternoon if you had afternoons off?
I'd write my book, my big book of lame ass stories.
Really? How come I
Yes.
see you in a hammock?
First of all, with the stitches I currently have, I may never get in a hammock again because where they're located. So,
So are you ready for the rocking chair?
well, I have a very big, comfortable reclining chair that rocks, and you know. Hey, JFK loved a rocking chair when he was in his 40s. So
You should
That's
write that
true.
book. I think enough men don't write down their stories in life. It's a good legacy thing. So don't delay on that one.
I think I'm a pretty good
Okay.
storyteller.
Yeah.
Guys, let me tell you, because you got a lot to say, and I love you guys, both of you. Tom, you are really awesome.
Have you
But,
been
Greg,
drinking
can I
again,
end
Marianne?
No, she's telling the truth, bud.
No, I love you guys. You are so much better than television. And I don't have cable anymore. Greg, I cut everything off.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you on a flip phone.
Wow.
I don't have internet.
Good for
I don't
you.
have cable. I don't have apps. I mean, but Greg, can I end my phone call with a joke for you?
Sure.
Because you just came out of the hospital.
Okay.
Where is the worst place to hide in a hospital?
The worst place to hide in a hospital. The morgue? I don't know.
I see you.
See what she did there. I
Good
see.
dad joke.
You know what, Marianne? You're better than television, too. Thank you.
I love you. I hope to come by and see you one afternoon if I knock on the door, okay?
That'd be great. Sure. Come by anytime. You're always welcome.
All right. Have a good evening.
You
Please
too.
be careful.
That would be cool if we could somehow set the studio up to turn it into a real happy hour. cocktails.
Yeah,
little
this
snacks.
studio needs a remodel.
Who made
It needs a remodel.
these little, what are they called again?
Gonna have to ask my mom. She can call in if she wants. They're called Skillet Snacks. Skillet Snacks.
I love these.
Yeah.
I savored these through the entire Idiocracy segment of
There
the
was like 6 different ones, and Abby picked those 2 out for you.
Aw. Well, I'm
She-
flattered.
we asked which ones that she thought you would like.
This looks like something that a friend Jacqueline would also
Jay
do.
Quellen.
Jay Quellen, who, you talk about amazing people, well, you and your schedule and everything else. I couldn't do what she does. She's the most amazing
Yeah,
person
the
I know.
kids, the law firm.
And her partners, both family people, raising families. But I think that only enhances their knowledge and instinct as attorneys who represent people whose families have been broken up for whatever reason.
Yep.
And in a crisis like that, when the things nearest and dearest to you are suddenly seemingly in jeopardy, it's very emotional. And when at that moment comes, you need people with sound legal leadership who can see the forest through the trees, feedback your circumstances, show you a plan. Okay, this is where you're at right now. And yeah, it's not great, but here's how we're going to get to a place that will be something you can live with. And let them do their job because they know their stuff. They're very experienced in hundreds and hundreds of cases in court, settlements. What's the word I'm looking for? Because they're both qualified mediators. They work in all manners of family law, from adoption, if you had struggles there. Maybe you know somebody who needs this type service. Please, without hesitation, recommend them at this number, 819-4810, 819-4810 for Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law. We're going to have Blue Water News with Sky. Jerry, Skipper's got a week off.
Skipper's, where's he at?
He's living the dream, and he's checking out train. He's a big train.
Yeah, he keeps telling me about he's got this model train set up at his house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I believe he is going to places where they have more of that
Nice.
kind of thing. So, and he's a hard worker too.
Yeah.
Twice a day, same shift as me. So
Traffic never ends.
it doesn't.
When we come back from the break, we got some local dish.
Okay.
In the Montgomery Skywatch Traffic Center, Decatur at High Street. They've been working an accident with entry there for a while. Be careful. 65 doing okay, just bunching up around the North Boulevard. 85 northbound, very busy right now. Is that cute puppy leaving little presents for you all over the house? Call Vicky at Invisible Fence. Ask about their indoor systems. Problem solved. 334-265-2585. I'm Jerry Howell for Montgomery Skywatch, filling in for Wendell J.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Montgomery police are investigating a shooting that left a man dead Sunday afternoon. Officers responded to the 4200 block of Amherst Drive just after 4 p.m., where a man was found with a fatal gunshot wound. The unidentified victim was pronounced dead at the scene. Police have provided no further details. A new Alabama law set to take effect October 1st increases the penalties for leaving the scene of an accident. Hit and run will be elevated to a Class B felony, carrying a minimum sentence of 2 years and up to 20 years in prison. A hit and run conviction can also result in tens of thousands of dollars in fines. Legendary Motown R&B group the Commodores have been booked to perform at the Alabama National Fair in Montgomery. The Commodores will take the stage at Garrett Coliseum Saturday, October 10th. The show begins at 7 p.m. and is included with fair admission. The Commodores were formed at Tuskegee Institute in 1968. They were later discovered by Motown founder Berry Gordy and rose to international fame. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here are several ways to attract more buyers to your home. First, price it right to sell, not to sit. An accurate market analysis will tell you what price it should be. Next, prepare the home to show and sell by deep cleaning by a professional cleaner, including carpet. Declutter all rooms, including closets. Evaluate flooring, replace if needed. Paint inside and out where needed, and make the kitchen and bath sparkle. How about the exterior? Are the colors faded on the shutters or fascia? Power washing them and all sidewalks and driveways and patios prior to listing the house. Remember, your price and curb appeal will create a showing appointment. Your condition of the house will make them stay and look longer and buy quicker. For all the steps you need to take to get your house ready for sale, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 334-221-2883 or 334-551-0225.
Pizza Perfect is carrying over the $10 buffet for July. They also have the perfect deal to feed your family tonight. Order any large pizza and get an order of boneless wings free. Pizza Perfect is known for their all-you-can-eat buffet, including pizza, spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink, and it's only $10 in July. Available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Buy any large pizza, get an order of boneless wings on the house at Pizza Perfect, Coliseum Boulevard, Eastbrook, pickup and delivery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The big story continues to be the heat. Today was hot enough. Tomorrow will be hotter. And even tonight, very oppressive. Overnight, low temperature down to about 77. Tomorrow, a heat advisory. High temperature, upper 90s to maybe teasing 100, but the heat index as high as 110. In fact, even Wednesday, excessive heat indices. And I think the rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are very small with high pressure in control. Storms few and far between. Late week will be not as hot, but hot enough. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Not much feelings coming over me. People wonder how I set my troubles free. 'Cause there's no cry in my eye, and I'm not low and I'm not high, and I won't get upset or blow off steam. Everything is not what it should be, but it doesn't make no difference to me. And the reason is clear, it's this pill I got here. I'm the nearest thing to level that I've been. 'Cause I'm on antidepressants, it's benefits, and benefits, wonderful decision came on by. And this drug that I found took away my ups and downs. I'm no longer so pissed off at the world.
Everybody sing.
I'm not pissed off. Around the relation, I'm not feeling much emotion low. And these drugs that I found take away my ups and downs. Process put me in my own little world.
It's the antidepressant song. And now, to Does everybody feel better?
No.
Okay. Well, we tried. News Talk 93.1 FM. Greg and Tom. Tom and Greg. We sound like a cat and a mouse that belong in a cartoon. Having adventures. Now, I just saw an article. At the moment, the level at which I despise certain politicians, I don't know. It's a race between Zohran Mamdani, who, by the way, now there's an article out today that's bringing into doubt whether or not that election was legitimate. AOC, who is a total fraud, and I feel sorry for anybody that is naive enough to think she could lead 1,000 rats out of Ireland with a piccolo. I just don't understand it.
Remember, when the enemy is making a mistake, don't interrupt him. Let AOC and Kamala take it all the way to the bank and just hand the election to us in 2028. So I think Shapiro's probably the only one that could actually represent the Democratic, side.
And not seem like a crackpot.
Yeah.
You think Fetterman's going to change parties?
Yes.
I do.
He's going to crack sooner or later. I think he gets fed up more and more every day. And yeah.
Well, he is one of the last reasonable people they
But
have
I
left.
kind of like him where he is because he's a bridge, that allows maybe some bipartisan work to be accomplished.
There are so few of those types left.
All right.
Because when you have a Fetterman, you may not like every vote he takes, but he puts the country first.
Yeah, he's reasonable.
Not an idea. Yeah. And they have moved so far to the left. I mean, there's no place for him. Even though now they're trying to downplay the Democratic Socialists. The Democratic Socialist chair is being mocked for confirming, yes, we want to abolish the Senate, borders, and prisons. Who in their right forking mind would think any of that is good? That you would lead a better life in this country if we had no borders and no prisons.
They must like certain parts of America, though, because it's like there are socialist countries. Why don't you just go there and see how that experiment is working? Don't try and bring it here. It's not what we're founded on. It's what are not. I mean, I just don't get it. It's almost like they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to live in America, but then have a few socialist ideas. It doesn't work that way.
I watched a great video. I didn't understand a word of it, but it was a Cuban man who got off the island and escaped Castro. And he is passionately trying to reach out to people in the New York Latino communities to say, you don't know what you're asking for.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the simplest of wisdoms, socialism gets voted in on promises that can't be kept. Communism comes in on the fist, with weapons.
Yeah.
And it's astonishing to me that anybody, this guy Hassan Piker, he's another one.
Yeah, clown.
But a dangerous one, very dangerous. And by the way, he's another hypocrite, multimillionaire. He has been enriched by capitalism, but claims he hates it. Because the contradiction in all these wonderful, let's do what's best for everybody mentalities is, see, I'm already set. I'm worried about you. You'll be the one that lives with all these wonderful rules and rationing and everything else that comes along with it. And why we have to learn this lesson over and over and over again without fighting a world war. And on the other side, the Republicans have been inept and timid and pathetic when it comes to warning people. Hey, we fought the National Socialist Party of Germany in World War II. Next question. Why do you think we're against it? Here's a call. Hello?
Hi. Hey,
Hi.
Sandy here. Oh, hey, buddy.
Hi. How you doing?
Sandy Watson. I'm good.
Oh, you.
Glad to hear.
I'd let Tom read my my Boom magazine column for this is my.
This is the first caller that's called in with their actual name. Sandy, you got to get a call sign.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, Mrs. Boom, how is that?
I
Mrs.
like it.
Boom.
I like that, Mrs. Boom. That's perfect for you.
I miss being Mrs. Boom.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I miss working for Mr. Boom.
I know, the boss.
The boss. He was the boss.
The boss. See what night? Saturday night, a friend and I went to Jack's Tavern and had dinner, and it was fantastic.
Where's Jack's Tavern?
It's Millbrook.
I need to get out of Montgomery.
Yeah, well, you advertise. Maybe it's Joey's show. I hear it advertised.
What'd you have there?
They cut their own aged steak. We had, it was $40 a piece, but it was like cutting into butter.
Oh my! Well, you haven't had one of my fillets.
No, I have not.
Rich Thomas
I'll
has.
have
Rich
that.
Thomas is my witness on all of that.
I bet. He's witness to a lot of things with you, Greg.
It's amazing.
He's another co-conspirator.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, well, I just wanted to tell you it was wonderful. He said you come up there to the special dinners he has, Chef Night or something. Maybe he's
Oh, you're talking about Epicure in Jack's Tavern, right?
Epicure.
Yes. No, I've definitely been there. I've been going to that restaurant for a long time.
I've heard good things.
And it's a short trip from Montgomery. So that's all the way in Prattville. Say people who never lived in a big city, but it's really not. It's about 10, 12 minutes because you exit at 179, go right, and just follow the road to the restaurant.
And it's right there.
And
it was delicious.
I've enjoyed
And
everything I've ever had there.
entertaining. The decor is just fun to look
It
at.
is.
And entertaining.
It
I
absolutely
can't
is.
say the owner's name. What is his name? I can't say it. Anyway, it was fun. It was great, and the meal was fantastic. Service, excellent, just delicious. Okay.
Well, I'm so glad you called.
Yeah. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
I'm on
Sandy.
my way to Atlanta. On my way to Atlanta to see Deb.
Be careful and tell her I said hello.
I
Take
sure
care. Her daughter, Deb, is super talented. She's a singer. She actually has done some acting too and was in that, it wasn't a good movie. That Francis Ford Coppola thing, Megalopolis, that came out. She had I saw her in that in a couple of spots. Just an absolutely awesome human being. And she was married to Jim Watson, who brought Boom Magazine to the River Region, passed away. Well, it's hard to believe it's almost 2 years. And I miss him. But look, the magazine is still in the family, so it's not that. But we had a great rapport, and I love working for him because it was very personal. You know, when you need it. I love to write, but sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. So when you have to,
When it's on a pressure basis, it's not fun.
I'll come up with something, something I'm not ashamed to send in.
Yeah.
But when you have that extra and say, hey, this is my buddy, he's dependent on me, and so ultimately it gets done. But I hope you'll read it. It's called Diagnosis AARP, and it'll be out a week from Monday. Here's Diagnosis Traffic, Jerry.
In the Montgomery Skywatch Traffic Center, they're loading the vehicles up right now. Decatur at High Street. Man, that was a nasty accident. 65 and 85 doing okay at the moment, just very busy. Your future starts this fall. Trenham State Community College is now enrolling for fall 2026. Register today. Change your life. Go to trenhamstate.edu for more information. I'm Jerry Howell for Montgomery Skywatch, filling in for Wendell J.
Do you suffer every time you try to wear good-looking shoes, but you don't want to wear ugly shoes just because they're comfortable? The Good Feet store wants to help you wear heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
What are you getting? Still deciding, but I do know on August 11th, I'm choosing Rhett Marcus for Congress. Why Rhett Marcus? Because he's a true conservative, endorsed by President Trump and Senator Katie Britt. Oh, then you can trust him. And he's a small business owner, not a politician.
Sounds like this choice on August 11th is the easiest decision we'll ever make. Remember to vote on August 11th. I'm Rat Marcus, the Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rat for Alabama.
I'm Stephanie Bryan, chairwoman of the Porch Creek Indians. Tourism and hospitality are more than industries to the Porch Creek Indians. Providing a warm welcome is part of our heritage. It's central to who we are. From Atmore to Aruba, we've created more than 20 unique travel and tourism destinations, providing unforgettable guest experiences and life-changing career opportunities for our tribe and our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. Learn more at porchcreekindians.org.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Progressive presents the Museum of You. We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed. Some things should be history, but until then you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Well, kids, that's our show for today. And now, in the words of Mr. Cole Porter.
Every time we say goodbye.
Good.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
Hello, I must be going. I must be going.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, say goodbye. I leave and heave a sigh and say goodbye. Enjoy. Goodbye. It's time to go. Goodbye, till our next show. Goodbye.
This concludes our broadcast day. Everybody leave here immediately.
Tom, I'm afraid we've got to go. Tom Moore, thank you so much. David Black, thank you. I'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning with Rich Thomas. And of course, Jay Scott.
Did you get a little tappity tap?
Thanks for punching us up.
Adios, muchacho.